I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. Hello, everybody. It's Dark Side Phil. I need that money to pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill. Stupid fucking trolls, man. I just want to chill. I rock back and forth on the X and Y axis. Tip me so I could catch up on back taxes, making large stacks, refunding chargebacks, and my laugh sounds like act. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. I want to have chill streams. No Detractor memes, bathroom breaks, playing WWE, relax and chill session of Street Fighter 3. Like I'm getting my vibe back from 2017. 50 bitch here. 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. I'm the one who operated a successful YouTube channel. I'm the one who just filed for bankruptcy. I'm the one who didn't pay my taxes. I'm the one. Me. I'm the one who masturbated in front of children. I'm the one who got 4th place at Evo. I'm the one with a 10-year legacy. I'm the one. Me. 50 bitch here. 50 bitch there. 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. 50 bitch here, 50 bitch there, 50 bit bitch. Raise your hands in the air. I need that money. I really do. I need that money. Pay my bills, the electric bill, the internet bill, the condo fees, my mortgage, my taxes, my back taxes, my current taxes, my state taxes, my federal taxes, my tax attorney, my tax guy, my tax accountant, my bankruptcy lawyer, all of my credit cards, my new setup, and a new laptop, PS5, gin, bowl of ramen.
I don't know, maybe I should have just put the ending and gone back to bed. I don't know. Hi. How's it going? I'm somehow alive. And, look at this. Holy shit. Let's take a look at Aqua Teal. Oh, hold on, what the fuck? Oh. No, we got that. That's weird. That's weird. Oh, am I alright? I'm fine. I'm fine. When's his next Zelda? Monday. Monday night is his next Zelda. I'm good. I'm just give me a moment. I'm still in the process of waking up. I might take a few minutes. So let's watch some Aqua Teal while I completely wake up. Like, okay. He hates fun in video games and demands the devs cater to him.
The only thing that I
want to read the whole thing. Alternate title: Bitches about how bloated the 100 millionth time demands the game devs cater to him. Aww. Oh, they're all bloated. And if they're bloated, maybe take like a gas X or some shit like that.
The only thing that I will say is this, all right? I am very curious about your feedback regarding Final Fantasy 16, and here's what I mean.
I love when he says, well, the only thing I'll say, yeah, 30-minute rant is the only thing I'll say is this, like, uh-huh.
The game started off very interesting and strong, and since then it's kind of fizzled out. And like I've told you guys, it seems like every time I play Final Fantasy 16, half of the stream is boring as dirt, and everyone is bored to tears, the viewers and me. And then the other half seems interesting. Do we really want to play a lengthy RPG where 50% of our time is bored to tears? But sadly, it seems like that's the game they made.
How is your time itself bored to tears? Like, time is not a concept that has tears or can be bored. I think you have been misspeaking, sir. Sir? Bell Burnell?
I don't know what they were fucking thinking, but that's kind of the game they made. It's really weird because it seems like the opinions on Final Fantasy 16
Oh no,
on the
chat
internet are
disconnected.
completely opposite. There's one
Judgy,
group of
no.
people who think this is like the best Final Fantasy they've ever played. They're madly in love with the game and think it's the game of the year. And the other half are like, this game is fucking shitty. I don't know what they did. They ruined Final Fantasy because they made it so much based on the narrative, and the narrative is boring half the time, and we don't know what they were thinking with these fucking cutscenes, and the game sucks. And it's so weird to see that split.
Ooh, I'll be honest, I like that. Where'd you find it boring? You usually love movie games. God of War is just as boring, and you loved it. Making chicken fajitas? Ah. Chicken fajitas. That's good. I get a sausage from biscuit, too.
You know what I'm saying? It's very odd. But I bought it. I spent $70 on this damn game. And I've already committed 15 plus hours to it. If you remember the last time we played it, there was a time lapse, and essentially now we're entering Act 2, which is really where the game begins. So the way I would say it is, listen, we're definitely going to continue to play the game this week. Let's judge based off of the 2 streams I'm doing this week whether or not this is something you want to see me continue.
Yeah, still ran. I said that before.
So
yeah.
boring by the end of the week that we're just burnt out on it. We don't have to continue.
You don't have to continue now. Like, Phil, and you make it sound like we. Like, Phil, you're not French. 2, it doesn't fucking matter. If you don't want to play the game, you don't have to play the game if you don't want to. All you have to do is be like, I don't want to play the game no more. You can be like, I am not having fun. I am bored. And I'm going to make the executive decision. However, the fact is he can't do that. You see, one of the biggest problems that Phil has is that he refuses to take any kind of responsibility for his own decisions. So he can't say, I'm taking the executive decision and I'm done. We're not doing this anymore. It's instead, oh, well, maybe do you want me to do it? Because the idea is that if something happens, he can always say, well, you told me to do it. Because that's always what he wants. And he'll never actually, he'll never take the onus himself.
We could do something else. All right? And I'm okay with that. But I want to be sure we're all on the same page here.
We are all on the same page. Like, Phil, you have a stream of more than 5 people. You're not going to get a goddamn, like, you're not going to get a full-on consensus. That just ain't happening, buddy. Like, come on. The oral equivalent of digging a shallow grave in the woods. And the wolves are going to get them.
People that every time I play it, oh, don't worry, the better part's coming. All right, well, we're 15 hours in. When's the better part, right? Maybe it's now, because we just hit Act 2. So maybe now is when the better part comes, right? I guess we'll see. But to me, like I said, it's not that I'm not enjoying. There are parts I very much enjoyed. But
sure,
I'm a streamer. I'm a content creator. I'm an entertainer. I'm supposed to be doing stuff that entertains, not forcibly forcing myself to play a game for 2 hours before I get to an hour of enjoyment, and the entire stream feels the same way as me. I don't know what they were thinking, but
see, this is where Bill can't accept the fact that, oh yeah, it's sometimes it's somebody different. It's like, Phil, just because you don't like it doesn't mean other people are going to like it or they're going to, agree with you. But the fact is that guess what? If you're bored, you failed as a streamer. Like, how is it that you can't make something fun? Oh, it's boring, too many cutscenes. Well, then fucking riff them. Pretend you're MST3K and go to town. Oh, you can't do that? Well, you know, that's on you. He's skipping cutscenes with plot. Yeah. Oh, he always skips cutscenes, though. He heads, yeah. We will no longer just be time random streets. Okay, Okami. That sounds like fun.
I don't think they've heard of pacing before.
I don't think you've heard of pacing before, because you've heard of pacing. You've heard them talk about pacing in movies. You have no idea what it means in a video game. And yeah, like, this don't make no sense.
I don't think they understand the concept of pacing. Whoever made this game really fucked it up, because they easily could have cut out a bunch of this nonsense and made the game way more interesting, and they really took way too long to get to the meat of the game, and really have had issues with their story being drawn out in an entertaining fashion. They could have done a lot better. I think it's kind of sad that the writing is the problem, right? Like, the writing and the...
I thought you said the pacing's the problem, Phil. The pacing is different than the writing. Like, look at that. Like, yeah, you're right, Okami. He knows nothing of pacing. Especially when he says pacing is part of writing. No. In movies, pacing is a part of direction and editing. Writing a little bit, but the fact is that it's the director and the editor who basically set up the pacing of your entire thing. Like, it's sad you're complaining about a choice. And this is the thing. He made the choice to play this while he was playing Zelda and Diablo 4. Again, this year he has played a ton of RPGs at the same time and bored the fuck out of his audience. But because he wants to do this, you see, this is the problem. He doesn't always listen to anybody, and now it's getting bit in the ass, because guess what? All of his playthroughs other than Street Fighter are hurting, because guess what? Nobody wants to watch this shit. You're complaining about it because you made the choice to play. Yeah. Like, all you had to do is say, listen, I'm not playing this no more. I'm not having fun, and boom, 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 boom.
Elaboration of the story is the problem. If the story had been more streamlined and more, you know what I mean? Like...
And Dark Gaming says you take 5-day breaks between every stream. And this is one of the big problems, because he has so many things like, yeah, pacing is how the scenes connect. Yeah. And the idea of it, pacing is how the scenes connect. It's how, and one of the biggest problems is that to say it's all writing, it's like, no, not quite. Because you're still going to have a director. You're still going to have someone who says, okay, you've had all this stuff. Now let's put them together. But, you know, his fans made him play 3 RPGs, even though he knew it'd be a bad idea. And CM Tarbell, he did that before. When he was playing Oblivion, Elden Ring, and Hogwarts Legacy at the same time. People were telling him, like, this is the thing. He knew this, and yet the fact is, yeah, that's the thing I really dislike about what he does, is he said the fans made him play it. Like, the fans didn't hold a fucking gun to your head. You could have said, listen, no, we're going to take a break. We'll come back to final. He should never play Diablo 4. There was no reason for him to play Diablo 4. At least not at this time. He could have played that later. But, yeah, he always does one of his cycles. Does it drag? Are there scenes cutting into each other too quick? That's pacing. Yeah. The thing about this is that what he's really mad about is the fact that there's content that does not pertain to the story in an RPG. Perish the fucking thought that you might actually have a little bit. You know what? Akami, you know what this is? This is like people complaining about filler episodes where it's like, dude, not everything has to be connected to the goddamn story. It's not filler. It's sometimes a break. You heard we're pacing, so pacing's bad. And yeah, still right. Well, that's the problem. He does not understand the words that he says.
I don't know. But anyway, I'm not giving up on it this week, okay? I want to keep playing it for this week and determine by the end of the week, do we want to continue with this game or not? So let's work on that together.
Look at him molding.
Actually,
molding.
explore this game together this week
and see if it gets to a point where we want to continue. I'm hoping that because we hit Act 2, now it will be more interesting. I guess we'll see. Okay? This really baffles me. High's Darkness just said, I think maybe the game isn't for you. Out of all the people I've watched play it, they love the world building and pacing. Okay, question. Honestly, what do they do for the 2 hours where they're doing bullshit?
See, this is one of the biggest things. Yeah, that's why you have beach episodes, a character moment. They're important to help you. But yeah, the thing about it is that not everything has to be about plot. Sometimes you have episodes that flesh out characters. And the problem is he says, see, Phil can't understand that somebody disagrees with him on something. It's like, no, you should not disagree with me. You need to do that. Yeah, get to know them outside the plot. And that's the point about it. Stories will have character moments where you learn about the character, and not everything has to be about the plot, which unfortunately a lot of people who talk about media just are like, no, it needs to be all about the plot. And I'm like, dude, come on now.
If they'll say they play 4-hour streams, 2 hours of their stream, they're talking to townspeople that have nothing to fucking do with anything. They have nothing to do with the plot. They're bullshitting. They're wasting time, running around doing fetch quests. They're getting combs. You know what I mean? How do you find entertainment in that?
Well, because here's the thing. All those little quests tell you more about the world. It's kind of like the side quests in Zelda will tell you a lot about the world outside of the main plot. One of the best ones, but you really have I think a good interesting thing is the mayoral plot line in Tears of the Kingdom in Heteno Village, where it's like, okay, we've got these two people and this whole thing of this one person is like, I want to make fashion out of mushrooms and I want to be the mayor because we need to take it to a new direction. And the old mayor's like, dude, we're a farming town. Like, we're just a farming village. This is basically what we do. We farm shit. We farm shit. We kind of sell it. That's what we do. And seeing that dynamic play out and, that and all that. But no, can't. Yeah. Here's the thing, Okami. He doesn't understand world building because he is completely and utterly uncaring about the world that he's watching. He wants to, with games like this, he wants to speed through the game, finish it, move on to the next one. The game, the world itself, and it's a Final Fantasy game. Like this is, you build this world because this is the only time you're going to be in this world. It's not like it's a new franchise. You're probably not coming back.
No, really, I mean it now, Maybe they just are, like, young and they have, like, infinite time. I'm 41 years old. If I'm playing a game, I want to be enjoying myself.
See, he likes to use his age, but here's the thing. Everybody else doesn't have infinite time either, Phil. Like, you have more time than others because you've made your own career off of playing video games. But then again, the fact is he only plays video games 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. So that's only 30 hours. Yeah. And yes, that's the thing, Okami. They had RPGs always have side quests. The idea is they are optional, and sometimes they might get you good stuff. Sometimes they might get you some experience points or something to make a bit of money or something like that.
I don't want to be wasting time on your menial shit, I mean, every game cannot be, this is now the game you play for 2 months straight. It's an insane.
And he is Darkness to say world building is meaningful to most people. And what he's basically saying is he doesn't want world build. He wants he doesn't want world building in that kind of sense. He beat the game in 50 hours. And one of the other problems, is that he is slow at doing these things. He slows himself down. Like, if you, any playthrough that he does, divide the hours he's played by 2, and that's more of a realistic thing of how long he's played. Honestly, with Zelda, you might want to divide it by 3. Because he's been faffing about.
Insane time investment of your life, and God forbid you're looking for something fun to do. You're just invested, and you should enjoy every moment of every little menial thing we put into the game. No. Game developers should be looking to entertain first, not fill time. Too many game developers.
Also, Kumaro, actually. They are entertaining. You call it fillers because you're sitting on a stream trying to entertain an audience. It's interesting world building, and it's just not clicking with you. And this is the problem. He sits on a stream demanding to be entertained while not entertaining his audience.
Developers are looking to fill time and put a stamp on their game saying 100 hours of gameplay, when half of that gameplay is not meaningful. That just drives me.
Yep. And again, at this point in time, he has turned the, in the most powerful irony of all, he has made the word meaningful totally meaningless.
Crazy, right? It's just fucking nuts, right? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, Charles Benevolent makes a comparison that Phil might actually understand because it's food related. Just like a good steak, fat makes flavor, maybe. And that is true. You know, when it comes to steak, the fat is what adds to the flavor, even though it doesn't really add to the meat content. From listening to him, I would say his complaint isn't world building, pacing, all this. He wants visible progress because he knows how meaningless it's his life. Yeah. No, you're right, Stillran. What he wants always meaningful progress, and whatever the fuck that actually means. So every quest needs to get him closer to the meaning of meaningful. It's like, well, that's not always possible, Phil.
So let's see again. Let's see. I don't want to give up on the game. It's becoming too difficult for me to entertain an audience for a game that's full of boredom and bloat. That's what it is.
Boredom and bloat. Again, he has used bloat before and said, well, bloat isn't always a negative connotation, which it is. Bloat is always a negative connotation, really showing that Phil doesn't understand words. But yeah, the game, yeah. And everybody's telling him, listen, if you don't like the game that much, just fucking drop it. Stop complaining and drop it. I mean, but the problem is he wants other people to literally demand that he do it. He would only get the bad ending in Chrono Trigger. Oh, dear Lord. Well, not only that, he's a guy, Okami, that as soon as he sees end credits, he's done. So if, let's say, the end credits happen and then there's normally a little bit after, he's completely impatient. This is how Phil plays games. The game is the anime, but without subtitles, he has no idea what he's expecting to enjoy him. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's why he shits on Zelda all the time is because, well, he was looking for things to shit on with Zelda. First, it was there's no voice acting in all, because they don't actually, you know, hey, guess what? It is a smaller game. I mean, it's like 16 gigs. It's a smaller game than most other big video games because guess what? They didn't put cutscenes everywhere and have voice acting all the time. It's almost like that stuff isn't necessary for a good game. But, you know, yeah, you're right. Okay, he's impatient. He's expecting all of this stuff to give you a lot of experience in gold or a big op weapon or some shit. It's like, not all of them gonna have it. Sometimes the early stuff, you're just gonna get little stuff.
It is bloat. It's bloated content, not needed. They just say, cut the fat. Get the fat off of there and just give me the lean, delicious stuff.
The fat is oh my God. He literally missed the point of what that other person said. The fat is the flavor. Like, Phil, have you ever had lean meat? Like, Phil, have you ever had, like, lean-ass meat? It has no flavor. Like, that's the whole point. The fat is what holds the salts and all that other stuff. It's like, yeah. He looked like the Jim N salad. Like, oh, no, he doesn't like roll, but yeah, now he's talking about cut the fat. I'm like, okay, you don't cut all the fat off of a piece of meat. You cut a good bit of the fat. You trim the fat if it's way too big. But the fact is, like, look at let's say bacon. Okay? When you look at bacon, there's a shitload of fat. And you cook it out and it shrinks down in there. And let's be real, people. A lot of people are not happy with voice acting being a thing in Zelda now. I'm not one of them. I think it's awesome. Just don't give Link a voice. He's meant to be silent. And yeah, they don't. They don't give him a voice. Like, he talks, but he talks through, you know, dialogue options and and hand motions, and it's like, no, he is talking. We're not going to hear what his voice is. As it cuts into his revenue over time. He brought up lean meat yesterday with meatballs. Holy shit! You tried. Listen, think about it. You try making a burger or meatballs out of like 93% lean, it will not work. Like burgers and meatballs, you need the fat is there, the flavor. You're almost gonna need 20, 80, 20. I don't know. Those are the guy that says that silent films are worthless because sound films exist. Oh, still Rand, he'd also be the one that said black and white movies are worthless because movies in color exist. He's supposed to be a player rep. Yeah. Yeah, and that's how and the fact is I actually don't mind the voice acting. I think Zelda's not as well. But Zelda's still a little bit iffy on it. I don't know if she's a little too posh for me, especially being the fact that now she doesn't have to be posh. She could just be, she's basically just a scholar, so she'd be as nerdy as she wants to be. Yeah, you need the meat so the meat won't be, yeah, you ever had dry-ass meat? Oh, it's awful.
Don't need to know about the fucking farmer who lives down the street who grows a bunch of plums, and he has problems watering his plums, so you need to go defeat the freaking random enemies in the field that are blocking the stream that waters plums, and it takes 20 minutes to do this quest. It's fucking boring. You know? It's dumb.
And he says this in such an objective manner. The posh voice just comes to me. It does. It also, though, I think hampers with the emotional context sometimes. And the thing about it is, like, when I played Breath of the Wild, I played it in Japanese, and I feel like the voice of Zelda, I felt was more emotion. Like, it play Breath of the Wild both in the English and in the Japanese, and it's like, no, oh, guess what? Her entire world, the castle's being destroyed, her entire family, and all that kind of stuff. And Zelda in English is kind of not as like, no. Whereas in anime, she just goes all out, and I'm like, I much prefer the Japanese one. However, Tears of the Kingdom is much better. I like it a lot more.
It's boring. It's stupid. It's not fun. Sorry. It adds nothing. Here's really what you have to ask yourself, right?
Oh, yeah. So
I'm playing Final Fantasy
Ganondorf's
16.
great.
Last stream, for the first time, the game opened up, and they let you travel to any part of the map. And all these side quests opened up, right? And I said to my audience, should I do these side quests, right? Because here's the
Should I do the side? Well, that's the thing. You're asking your audience. Why don't you just do a side quest to figure it out, Phil? Like, again, he needs his audience to validate him, because if he chooses something and it doesn't work, he needs to be able to blame his audience. You told me to do this. Oh yeah, Mercer kills it as Ganondorf. Fuck yeah. No, look, if Mercer was not there playing Ganondorf, I might have played the entire game in Japanese or some shit like that. I'm like, no, I got to hear Mercer fucking murder it as Ganondorf, and he did not disappoint. That motherfucker's like, yeah.
The thing, if this game's like Witcher 3, and if these side quests are meaningful and have interesting plots to them, and there's world building, and they're critical, and they'll give you some good rewards in these cases, I will do them, right? Here's what I would...
And by bringing up Witcher 3 and the whole way he plays I really think one of the big problems is he doesn't like JRPGs. He needs to stop playing JRPGs. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Matt Mercer's living the dream. He got to finally play his dream. He got to play Ganon as he's wanted to for years. But yeah, and there, as I said, there's different ways of playing Zelda. Like Phil plays Zelda like Zelda's Link's a coward who's afraid to fight anything. I'll play him like he's the goddamn humanoid typhoon, as people believe that Vash was. It's like, I will be a one-man fucking extinction event. Blood Moon ain't got shit on me.
My audience. No, you can literally skip every side quest up to this point. They're all boring. They're all trivial. They're all meaningless. They're just meant to kind of give side additional lore that really doesn't matter to the main plot of the game at all.
Oh, and Dylan Breyer also brings up Elden Ring, which he could skip that stuff, but he never does. And as playing people want to enjoy and immerse themselves in the lore, none of the side quests are boring. They're playing side quests that tie directly into the story. Well, Matt went being a Troy Baker replacement to a big voice now. Yeah, yes, he did. And I believe it is probably now Phil. Oh. Hey, Philbo is live. How much skip juice we got? We got a little bit of skip juice. All right, we'll come back to this. This one might be one we're gonna have to come back to in a while. I want to hear that. And look at this blurry ass shit. This is your opening to your podcast. Like, and think about it. This is, again, all that green screen stuff was made in like 2015 or some shit. When he's, during the beanie era where he's just wearing nothing but beanies. So, think about that. Like, and everyone else has to do this too. Please do, and I want it on that. Wait, what? Wait, what? You want in on what, Okami?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Darkside Phil, and this is the Level 1 podcast for Saturday, the 8th
we will
of
go
July,
back to that video another day.
Ooh, what a glorious weekend we have.
As soon as this pre-stream's over, I'm going back to bed.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because this weekend's schedule got thrown into a little bit of disarray. Well, let's talk a little bit.
Look at them. Look at that. Phil, go up seriously, you need to go up a size on that shirt. Like, that shirt is straining against them titties. It is straining. Like, he talked during his entire thing about how that Hawaiian shirt was so comfortable. It's probably because it's the first time in a long time he's actually bought a shirt that's his actual size. These shirts look way too goddamn tight. And part of it is because when he bought it, he doesn't want to admit that, yeah, he's put on weight. And he's just kind of bloated from back in the day. So,
a bit about that, because this weekend's schedule got thrown into a little bit of disarray. Normally, today would be my React day, where we would do the podcast, and then we would jump over to my sister channel, DSP Reacts, and we would do DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show, where members nominate funny and interesting clips from all over the Internet to watch, and I watch them back and react to them.
Rydrake is confused.
Way back in February. It's been going strong ever since. But a monkey's wrench has been thrown into
Okami, we'll do that. We'll do that another day.
Wrench at you. First of all, it hurts. If it hits you, it's made of solid metal, and it could break some bones and cause some bruising, some contusions. However,
wow, Phil, that wasn't even funny. That wasn't even funny. Like, the fucking hell was, like that's the thing of, like, oh, throw a monkey wrench, it'd be bad because it's just made of metal and all that. It's like, that, Phil, if you told a joke, you failed telling the joke. Come on now.
However, even if you avoid the monkey's wrench, sometimes it'll still screw with other things.
It's not a monkey's wrench. It's a monkey wrench. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, what the fuck? The fuck is this? It's like, he doesn't even understand. It's, the whole thing of the monkey, it's a spanner in the works. It's the idea of, like, the thing of, like, modern times, that Charlie Chaplin movie, where it's like, yeah, there's just a wrench in the entire assembly line and it breaks everything down. It's like, it's not, the monkey doesn't have a wrench, Phil. Okay? The monkey's not playing Clue.
Things. And this weekend is very much that case, because later this afternoon, I'm going to be interrupted. All right? I don't know exactly the time, but I'm going to be interrupted. And when I get interrupted, that means I have to stop streaming, or at least go on a break for likely an extended period of time. All right? Now, since I don't actually know the extent of what's going on, I can't tell you if this is going to be like, oh, let's take a break and and I'll be back in 30 minutes. Or let's take a break and I'll be back in an hour. Or, oh, let's just end the stream because I'm not going to be able to come back. I don't know. All right? And I don't like having that air of uncertainty. I don't. I like having more control over my streams and my content. But it was a matter of completely canceling today's stream entirely or doing a stream with that air of uncertainty. And I opted for the air of uncertainty. I'd rather stream for you guys and then have to take a break and maybe come back than not stream at all. Okay?
Makes me wonder what the fuck he has.
Because
what the fuck the problem is.
We decided to. Because I'm doing this, I decided to swap the stream.
Yeah.
And that means that.
Did you hear that? First he started with we, then he went to I. Because this is how he normally always likes to say we, so the onus can't be on him alone. However, there's no way that that can work in this situation. He has to put the onus on. He has to only put the onus on himself. So he had to catch himself.
Today will actually be the gameplay that was supposed to be tomorrow, and tomorrow will be DSP versus the internet. So if you like the internet react show, the Clips react show over on DSP React, it's happening tomorrow on Sunday. Now this is interesting because this may open up discussion about future scheduling. We'll talk about that in a second. So that means today we're gonna have a full gameplay day here on DSP Gaming. My first stream will be Final Fantasy 16 continuing on. We just had a big time skip in the game, a 5-year time skip, and I don't know.
Can it be HOA?
You know, what happens now?
Revy, I'm guessing probably HOA. I mean, I would think if it's a plumber, like, I don't know. We don't really know, Trunks, what the issue is. It probably could be an HOA meeting. If it's an HOA meeting, I wonder if it's because his plumbing issues are starting to cause issues with the other, with his neighbors. Which could be a big problem because if his neighbors need repairs, they might send him the bill. And oh boy, that could be an interesting thing where it's because remember, we're getting on near 2 years that his bathroom has not been usable because of his issues, which who knows if they're as real as that it is. But if the fact is they are as bad as he claimed it is, which is I cannot use the master bathroom at all, then oh boy, he's gonna be in some big trouble. Because remember, this is not a single family house. This is a townhouse. He's got other things. Raven's Discord, someone brought up HOA. Yeah, HOA definitely could be a thing, especially when it seems like he doesn't know, or has had issues since he moved in. Well, but my thing is, in the last 2 years, is basically become he couldn't use anything in there. Like, it's either that or he actually did get a plumber to come in and take a look at something.
If the plot picks up, it goes back down to being slow as dirt, because we had 2 hours of boredom and 1 hour of extreme action and fun on the last stream, which seems to be the pacing for this game. Bore you to tears for 2 hours of just filler, and then all of a sudden cram a bunch of action into like an hour with all kinds of interesting plot developments and things, and then go back to going slow as dirt and like a slug again. So I guess we'll see what happens on the stream today.
We'll see what happens.
I'm hoping for more interesting things than more boring things, but I can't make the game be good. You know, I can't make the writers of the game learn the concept of pacing, which apparently they don't understand.
I love the idea that he's shitting on it, thinking, oh, it's the concept of pacing. Like, Phil, this isn't pacing. It's the fact that, you know, some things the idea that you don't need to have everything be plot related. That's not how this works, Phil. Come on now.
Especially in 2023, I shouldn't be playing 15 hours of the game and only be interested for 5 of them. If I'm bored for 2/3 of the time I've played your game, you have failed. And
I mean, if it's a refinance of the house, it's possible if he actually got, someone who might be willing to refinance his house, then it could be an inspection and appraisal. That could be that.
They have failed. Sorry, I hate to say it. Even Final Fantasy 15, with its open world kind of driving around concept, was way more interesting than this game in the first 15 hours. So, we're going to continue on with this game this week. And by the way, we talked about this at length yesterday, but let's address it again.
Yeah, would you buy it? None of you buy it. You ain't fucking stupid.
That actually keep asking me to drop Final Fantasy 16. They're like, dude, this is game. You're 15 hours in. The game is so boring. Don't play it anymore. Do anything else. Go back to Elden Ring. Play a new game.
Why go back to Elden Ring? Again, showing he doesn't learn a goddamn thing. The fact is, if you're boring and your audience don't like it, don't go to another goddamn RPG. What the fuck is wrong? Like, he seems to think that oh well, I'll just go to a Western RPG, even though it's like, wait, FromSoft's in Japan. But still, the idea that no, we'll go to another RPG, it's like you didn't learn a goddamn thing, did you? Because the whole point about it is you need to stop just playing a ton of RPGs. It's bored your audience to tears for months now. Months, even before Zelda and all that came out. Yeah. My blood pressure's fine, Falcon. I'm fine.
You know, there's other games coming up this month. Do something else. And I'm like, you know, it sucks. I committed 15 hours. I already spent $70 on it. I am a fan of Final Fantasy.
Phil, yeah, I know, Revy. We didn't get that. Believe me, I will get back to that one day, and Akami wants to join in, so that will be another rant for another day. But I will do that rant, and yeah, the chat called. I know the chat called him a regard because the fact is they don't buy all of his stuff, and he can't understand that. Should have stopped after Oblivion. Well, but this is the problem with that one nice guy. He seems to think that Western RPGs are different than JRPGs. Like a Western RPG like Oblivion and all that, he will play every goddamn little bit. It's one of the reasons people asked him if he could play Zelda later on, a year or so now, like he played Skyrim and Oblivion, where he takes a long time and plays all the little side content. And he just, he doesn't click it in his brain.
I've loved Final Fantasy since I was a kid. You know, Final Fantasy
2/4,
which was an SNES game, was the first one I ever played. I loved it. I played.
I don't believe you, Phil.
And it's unfortunate that this one, sadly, doesn't seem to be living up to expectations, which is hilarious because I had no expectations. Remember, I didn't spoil myself on this game at all.
Well, then, if you had no expectations, how does it disappoint you in terms of expectations, Phil? Come on now, words got to have meaning, and you're trying to. They don't make. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's bad. Ugh. 100 times. I only have 2 of the stages in 70 hours. Yeah. No, well, the whole thing is that with Zelda, he wants me.
Phil, you make me angry, Phil.
The whole thing with Zelda is the entire time he's been playing it, he's been looking for something to complain about it. He really, and for as much as he wants to say that he is a fan of Zelda, a Zelda fan, like we saw the tier maker, half the things that he had there, he never played. And he's very, very regarded about the things that he did play. Like the fact that he gave original Ocarina of Time a C tier, yet he gave the 3DS remake an S tier. And wonders why his chat was bullying him and basically calling him a regard on that point. But, you know.
I just played it cold, and these are my honest feelings, not having had any of these expectations, just being transparent with you guys about what I think.
Phil, you're never transparent. Like, you never are transparent.
So we're going to play it today, and we're going to play it again on Tuesday. I figure after 2 more major streams, all right, if this game isn't enough to hook us, I think we're done with it. All right. Now, I
think we're done with it. He's not a Zelda fan. I'm more of a Zelda fan. The only one I ever finished Twilight Princess. Oh, but the thing is, he's a major Zelda fan because he has Zelda jammy pants. Oh my God, that means that if he gets stopped, he's gonna have to wear jeans. He's probably wearing jeans. I just been armor hunting and shrine hunting and didn't bring up that blasphemy of a tier list. And no, I'm gonna bring that up. All right. I don't watch that shit. All right, that putting Ocarina of Time at a C list that hurt my soul. My soul was like, oh.
To be honest with you, I don't want it to come to that. I'd rather have this continue as a playthrough over the month of July and August till we finish it. But
Midday is very good.
You see the point of continuing on with a game that's not resonating with my audience at this point, and for me, I'm bored 2/3 of the time. You know, like I just don't get it. And I'm disappointed, to say the least, at this point, but I do hope that things get better. I do hope that the game does get more interesting. I now have 3 different elemental abilities, right? I have fire and 2 aspects of fire, Phoenix and Ifrit. Then I've got Garuda, which is wind, and now I've got Rama, which is lightning, and I can alternate between these in combat, and I'll probably mess around with different builds in combat and stuff. We'll see. If anything, the combat's fine.
And people are saying, don't drop Final Fantasy 16 for more Elden Ring. showing that they don't want another RPG. But Phil will go right back to Elden Ring and then wonder why everyone's complaining about it. It's like, Phil, you don't understand. Like, it's again, you're switching one RPG for another RPG. You should, like, for him, he should really only play one RPG at a time.
Fine, it's just repetitive.
You saw it, Taylor. You had Ocarina of Time's #1. Most people have it near the. Most people have Ocarina of Time as an S tier game because it's one of the best. You know, one of the game by a wide consensus. Yeah, one of the greatest games of all time by wide consensus. C tier, contrarian side Phil, and for no reason other than his kid self didn't like it because it wasn't a sequel to Link to the Past, and his adult self is so fucking autistic he can't separate that and say, yeah, but it's still a good game. I want to say people don't want. Well, no, I actually still ran. I'm going to say this. I think a lot of people don't want another RPG right now. As I said, he's been playing RPG after RPG after RPG. He needs to take a fucking break from them. He needs to play something that's not an RPG. I do think he needs to do that. Because as far as variety, he has not had variety in his streams. Okay, he needs to play something that's not an RPG so that, you know, he can then go back to Elden Ring in a different place.
Like what I'm noticing now is, you know, you fight the mob of enemies. Okay, these enemies are weak, so what do? You just do giant combos till they're all dead. Oh, here comes a guy who's a tank. Okay, so you beat him up, you dodge a bunch, you beat him up, you dodge a bunch, you beat him up, you dodge a bunch, stagger. You know, punish the stagger with the punishing move, the pull. Beat him up, stagger, beat him up, dodge, beat him up, dodge. Okay, finisher. You know, it's very repetitive. And
that sounds like fun. Like, Phil, maybe you should fight a Lionel in Tears of the Kingdom. They're really fun. They're fun to kill. All you got to do is dodge their attacks, and you're good. Backflip their attacks, and just kill them, and you'll get powerful stuff. Like, their bows are some of the strongest bows you can have.
I hope that it's not like that the whole game, because if we're 15 hours in and we've seen the extent of what the combat is, I feel like it's going to be very boring. But we'll see. Again,
like, Phil, you're probably going to have people...
Let us continue.
Let us
today
continue.
And Tuesday. Let's give it a shot. Let's be
Let
honest
us.
with it. And, you know,
He's disturbing combat in any game. Oh, yeah, no.
The hate bandwagon that a lot of people have for the game, but I'm also not going to be a fan.
He's not going to... But, Phil, you're the king of hate. Why aren't you jumping on the hate bandwagon? You know? You had that one design on a t-shirt that just was your fat fucking face. It just said hate under it.
Fanboy about it. I'm going to try to be, you know, honest with you guys about my feelings, all right?
Honest.
So, because the schedule is different.
He wanted to say objective. That face sums him up. Yeah.
Final Fantasy is today. I wish I could tell you if and when the interruption is going to happen. So here's the deal. If the interruption happens early, let's say we start playing
back
in the
and
first
forth
hour,
on the
all
X
right?
and Y
My
axis.
hope is that it won't blast all day, and I'll be able to come back. But what I'll do is I'll probably just leave the stream on with the music playing. And if and when I can come back, I'll come back. I'll tell you, hey, I'm back. Let's continue. I'll probably post it on social media and, of course, on the channel page here on the community tab. Hey, I'm back. Come back, and we're resuming now.
He's just going to basically put the slides on for maybe an hour or more. Wow, Phil. At this point, find someone else who's streaming and just restream them for a bit. Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
For how much long we have left. If the interruption happens later on, like let's say the interruption happens at like 3 p.m., then I don't see the reason to come back, you know. Even if it's fast, you know, what's the point of coming back for like 20 minutes?
So he doesn't even know
So
when they're
it all
coming.
depends on when the interruption happens, and I am planning...
I never played Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, but I'll put
going along on
as high
podcast.
if I ever
I don't
played
have that
them.
much to talk about on the show today. Besides,
Skyward Sword's one I need to play on the
By the way, was
Switch.
my best day ever in Street Fighter 6. Like, superb gameplay, highest level gameplay I've done yet in the game. Not only did I happen to hit my 1,000th win in Street Fighter 6, which is amazing, okay?
It doesn't matter because I believe you were adding one, you know, like somebody gave you the actual number. It actually has the number on there and you inflated it. But also the fact is you were counting, I believe you were counting casual matches. Like, you should only be counting your ranked matches. So I don't care, Phil. I don't care that you did that. Here's what I think. You want to talk about bloat? You've bloated your schedule with all of the Street Fighter stuff, and that is hurting your stuff as well. Twilight Princess prefer the GameCube version. Well, yeah, because that's the better version. Duh. It's the better version. No one wants the Wii version.
But I also leveled up
Yeah,
my
Wii is a
Blanca
meh
dramatically 2 levels of diamond. Just think about how crazy that is. 2 different freaking levels.
It's actually
All
hate
right?
nowadays.
So it went
more
really
positive.
well.
Stop
I had a
slander.
great
Real
time
men's DS
yesterday on
positive.
Street Fighter 6, and we're gonna talk about that in a bit. That's
There's
really
no
my only
DS
topic today. I
positive.
don't really have much like there's no game news to talk about today or anything like that. So
Well, there's no
what we'll
game
do,
news. Well, then
we'll
hurry this
schedule
podcast up. I'm going to go
Street
back
Fighter
to
6,
bed.
and we'll do Q&A, shout-outs, and we'll be done with the podcast. I'll likely end it early. Try to jump
Good.
into some
Let's end it
Final
early.
Fantasy 16 gameplay and see how it
Then
goes
I'm
from
going
there.
back. I'm
All
going
right?
to put my fat ass back to bed.
All right. So, let us jump in, shall
Let
we?
us.
What's hilarious is that someone in the chat says playing with the best character in the game will do that. Literally, no one thinks Blanca's the best character in the game. Everyone says
Everyone
the
thinks
rushdown
Blanca's
characters, such as
broken.
Ken, Jury, Luke, DJ. Everyone says that's the top tier, and likely Blanca is just under or 2 tiers under. No one says Blanca's top tier. You're an idiot. But that's the thing.
Wow.
My haters are so
Wow.
desperate to discredit.
This is the thing. Yeah, see, he thinks it's a hater. It's just like, no, what if that's the dude's opinion that was the best character? You just insulted this person. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, there's no reason to do this. And look, he's going into this smile thing because the fact is he's about to go and start going the whole thing of, you see, this is what my detractors think. Learning from King Cobra JFS. Yeah, well, you know.
Credit anything that I do. That they
Am I
will
going
get
to swing
an
over to the
entire day
ice stream of
successful
Final Fantasy
gameplay,
6?
leveling
Probably
up, you know, a
not.
really awesome day
I'm
with
probably
Street
going to
Fighter
go to
yesterday,
bed
and they have
because
to
then I
try
got to
to
go
find
into the
excuses for
office.
why I did so well. Oh, because the character's overpowered. It's the best character in the game. He's going to get nerfed.
Well, Blanca's broken and he knew it since from the start. Yeah. Yeah, it's uncalled. No, Akami, you're right. It's uncalled for. Listen, if the guy thinks that Blanca's the best character in the game or thinks that that's the case. Also, yeah, the fact is Blanca's broken. A lot of people know Blanca's broken. And they might nerf him. And look, he's just, the whole point about this is that he's just being a dick to be a dick. And this is why people leave you, Phil. This is why your channel's dying.
Nerfed. Oh, you see, because Phil's lucky and he mashes and he gets... Fuck off. I'm good at Street Fighter, stupid.
No, you're not, Phil. Have you looked at your win-loss record? You're around 50%. You're not even up to 60%. Like, you're not good at Street Fighter, Phil. That one guy showed you, it's like, yeah, you don't know how to put combos together. It's like, he's a mixed bag. It's like, this really is, like, and he's doing this stuff, so this is his pygnosis thing of leaning into the camera and bugging his eyes out, all that kind of stuff. All this stuff is done just so that, you know, he can try to convince you that he's right.
It always was. All I need to do is apply myself and practice, and then I will actually get good. I haven't done that in over a decade, and that's why I've sucked, because I didn't like...
No, you suck because guess what? You don't go into the lab. You're crying because you couldn't get Ryu. It was... And people were just like, we don't want to watch you play fucking casual. But you instead believe that, oh, for me to get good, I need to beat up on scrubs.
Street Fighter 5. If I apply myself to these games, I will do good. And that's all it takes. Now, I'm not going to do good with every character, and I'm not a tournament level player, but I'm not awful at Street Fighter. It doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter how hard you try, or how you try to rewrite history. I'm still good at Street Fighter. Deal with it, motherfuckers.
Yeah, Phil? Yeah, okay, that's nice, Phil. Here's the thing, and I'm going to say this. You're a mediocre player. The only reason you got as good as you got is because the top level players backed out. And think about it. What happened afterwards? What happened the year after? Oh, you'll be like, oh, but you see, I got 5th place. Yes, you did get 5th place. And then you never got higher at all after that. Everything you did, you got, you know, it was meh. It was mixed. You never got to the levels that you were at 2005 Evo. You never even got in the top 8. Your 4th place win was a fluke. It was the Lakers winning the COVID championship in 2020. I don't mean shit. Because guess what? Next year, couldn't do anything. Yeah, if he was a good player, he wouldn't be struggling in mid-diamond. Yeah, why aren't you in Master? Why are you struggling in mid diamond? Why aren't you in master? Like, Phil, why aren't you in there? What, like, here's the thing, Phil. Why aren't you playing for hours and hours learning the game? Why don't you play like, you know, like how Corone plays, where she was like, you know, practicing with JP for a while and a while and a while. Like, pick a main and go for it. Not try to do this variety shit of I need to play all these different games. No, pick a main and go for it. King's not the best character in King of Fighters, but I'll always see her that way.
By the way, the stream chat froze.
The stream chat froze. Oh, wow. And look, the stream chat froze. Yeah, it's because no one's talking, Phil. Because guess what? It's boring. This is just about his ego. It's why he wants to beat Scrubs to boost his win rate. The only reason he plays WWE Champions is to put money there, and it's the 90. No, he puts the money there so he can keep his 95+ win rate. Yeah, King is not the best character in I'll always see her that way. Same with Anna and Tekken. That's why I hated being behind a paywall in Tekken 7. I mean, what about May? May is very positive. Look at this. Whenever he says chat's frozen, he literally is just trying to tell people to pay attention to him and to talk in the chat. And it's like...
Yeah, I did. Stream chat working for anyone? It's completely frozen on both of my screens here.
No one's talking. See...
Yeah, look at
that. What he really doesn't understand is this just means nobody's talking. Because he has a small stream. There's probably like 20, 30 people there.
What happened to stream chat? You guys can't talk, right? It's frozen. You would think by now someone would have said something. It's completely frozen.
Someone would have said that they can't talk in chat. Phil Burnell. Think about that and come back to me, please. Phil? Did you listen to how you just said? Did you hear what he just fucking said? Like,
stream chat froze. Yeah, I did. Stream chat working for anyone? It's completely frozen on both of my screens here. But the stream's still rolling. Yeah, look at that. What happened to stream chat? You guys can't talk, right? It's frozen. You would think by now someone would have said something.
It's frozen. You can't talk. Someone should have said something. I have no fucking words of how retarded that is. That's not even retarded. That's full on retarded. Phil, come on, Phil. Wow. That is I am in awe of his stupidity in that one.
It's completely frozen. I wonder if chat just crashed completely on YouTube and if my stream's about to crash too. My viewership is fluctuating, which means the stream's working, but chat just completely froze. Wow, I laid down the law so hard for the haters that the chat just crashed completely. That's interesting.
Laugh it up, dude. You've got no interaction.
Wow, I've never seen that one happen before. I guess I'll continue on. I hope that you guys can talk sooner rather than later.
Yeah, King Chat.
King kind of weird.
Yeah.
We'll be able to talk soon. Anyway, so let's talk schedule first. Let's get through the schedule for the rest of the week, and then we'll talk about how Street Fighter went yesterday, and then we'll get to hopefully Q&A if the chat unfreezes. What's funny is people are clicking on, you know, those little interactive emotes you can click on, like the happy face, the party horn, the 100. Those are still working. That's the only thing that's working. Chat is completely frozen on my screen, but I'm seeing your little emote things pop up, so I know you're still there. They wouldn't be there. People weren't able to see the stream. Those wouldn't be popping up. They're popping up. It's just YouTube chat has completely crashed. Wow. I have no idea. Hopefully it comes back. It's been frozen now for 3 minutes and counting. Hopefully it comes back. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week.
Oh, it might be frozen on my end, too. Ooh.
Today, Final Fantasy 16 with an interruption. Don't know when. I'll let you know if and when I know. And we'll take that break. And if I can come back, great. And if not, it's later in the stream, then that's it. But I'm going to try to make this a shorter podcast. All right, so that basically we can get more gameplay in if possible before the interruption. Tonight on the late stream, this is exciting. 6:45 p.m. Pacific time tonight. It is the conclusion of Diablo 4. After a month of playing, over 20 hours of gameplay, we're going to wrap up the narrative of the game. Now, I'm well aware that the game has tons and tons of content after the story wraps up. But for me, oh, the chat just unfroze. Casanova says, I just got here. That was 5 minutes my chat was frozen.
Almost as if nobody wanted to talk, Phil. It, like, really, the whole thing is that he can't understand that, dude, people don't want to talk unless it actually was frozen. Which I don't believe that. It could be, who knows. Bashit should have just said, no more chatting. I don't fucking know. It's weird that even Nightbot froze, because Nightbot normally is the thing that kind of forces the chat to move along.
5 minutes frozen. That was interesting. Well, welcome back, everyone. All right, so anyway, tonight on the late stream, it's Diablo 4 continuing on, all right? And finishing. We're in the end game now, like we're in the final area, but we still have about an hour to an hour and a half left in the game to finish it. And the reason I know that is because my wife just beat it the other day on our day off. I love that I wasn't spoiled. She beat it when I was gone running the errands for the week. And
oh yeah, no, that's the thing.
She told me
he didn't think about that. He didn't think about him not getting the.
If I get my ass handed to me, then that's one thing. If I have to
not getting the
and
response
grind and level up a bit, then I guess it is what it is. We'll have to see how it goes tonight. Okay. But I should beat it. Like time wise, I have enough time. But the question is, how hard is the end of the game? If it's too tough and I'm not leveled enough, and I have to go grind for a stream, then I might have to do that. So be it. Right. We'll see.
You don't like grinding.
Probable conclusion of Diablo tonight on the late stream. Okay, we'll see what happens. Tomorrow, like I said, what a weird day tomorrow. So we'll have a level 1 podcast in the morning, and then after that we'll do DSP versus the Internet React show over on DSP Reacts, and that's it. Like literally that's all, because the late stream is no stream. I have to film private React videos for my patrons for the month, so that's going to take up the entire segment that would have been like the late stream. And
oh my God, who the hell
I'm kind of
cares?
shot tomorrow. It's not really a full streaming day for me. Okay, well I will come back full force on
don't
Monday.
care, Phil.
Monday's first stream will be Street Fighter 6, and I've chosen either Lily or Marisa, one or the other. Okay, and I hope that you guys will join me for that, because it's a return character. I'm going to try to level up with those characters. I haven't played with them in a while, actually. Both Lily and Marisa, I haven't played in ranked in ages. So to actually jump back in and try to level up, like I've been doing,
I'll
watch
put
tech
20
videos,
when
I'll
you don't have an
knowledge
Evo
on these
medal.
characters while I watch these videos, and then come back stronger on Monday when I play.
Justin
Monday
Walker
night
said many
will
medals
be
to show
late
up.
night stream of Zelda Tears of the
Did you
Kingdom.
get anything
We're actually
for
about halfway
fourth?
through the final dungeon, so we'll try to complete the final dungeon. We'll see if we can do it or not. All that's left in Tears of the Kingdom is the final dungeon, all right, and then the road to Ganon and the actual Ganon fight. But for what I'm to understand, it's going to be quite challenging for me, because I don't have a ton of hearts, all right, and I don't have armor leveled up. So people are saying, yeah, it might be tough for me, which is why they guided me to get things like the fast travel and stuff like that, so that way I don't get screwed over. And if I die, I can die right from the start. So we'll see how it goes.
Phil, you're not gonna win, okay? Because here's the thing: Ganondorf is gonna hit you hard, and he's gonna take your hearts. You ain't ready for him. Why didn't he do React Day instead of the janky stream and do a full day tomorrow? CM Tarbell, because he's regarded, because he needs to do the Patreon stuff on a Sunday for some reason. I don't fucking know.
Goes. All right.
He can't
We'll
change
definitely
his
see how it
schedule.
goes
I
on,
don't know.
Monday
It
night,
just
go from
nothing
there.
makes sense.
Tuesday, more Final Fantasy 16, so that'll be the second Final Fantasy 16 stream of the week. And then Tuesday night, maybe more and the conclusion of Diablo. Or if we've already beaten Diablo tonight, then Tuesday night we'll do something different. And we have some options. I would say option number 1, all right, would be the World Tour mode of Street Fighter 6. This is a mode that we talked about a ton before the game came out. A mode that likely some people actually bought the game to play. It's essentially its own isolated story mode, separate from the competitive nature of the game. It allows you to create your own avatar and run through this open world and beat up anyone in the streets to level up. And once you do you get items, you train with the actual fighters of the game as trainers. You learn their
I guess
abilities,
against
and you level
Pulse.
your avatar,
Oh,
you
yeah,
fight against them.
Tarbell, yeah.
It's a really
Events
neat concept,
normally
and it
Sunday
lasts
night.
about 20 hours of gameplay.
You're right.
Well, I played 3. That's it. And then we never went back to it. Okay? So this is a potential thing to do. As a balance, and do it on Tuesday night. Another option would be to check out a game called Amnesia: The Bunker. This is a survival horror game that released last month on Game Pass. It was rated quite highly, and literally, it didn't get any buzz. Why? Because it came out amongst the releases of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Street Fighter 6, and Diablo 4, and then right after that, Final Fantasy 16 came out. So all these giant blockbusters just destroyed it. And what's a shame
It's
is everyone
what
says it's really
happens,
good.
Phil.
Everyone
That's
says it's
part.
quite a
That's
good game.
life.
It's fun. It's suspenseful. It's scary. It's got a good
That's
plot.
life.
And I'm
It
like,
does
it's right
happen.
up my alley. I would probably really like the game. But it's just sad that, like, it just went and kind of fizzed and no one ever knew it existed. So I'm down for that. If you guys want to see horror, I'm definitely down to start a horror game this week as well. We'll see. Or another option, we could return to Elden Ring. Now, I'll be honest, there's no rush for that. We could go back to Elden Ring literally at any point.
No
it's
no
we're
no
not more than
RPGs,
halfway through the
Phil.
game,
No
right?
more
We just beat
RPGs
the
from
capital
you.
City. And what was the last thing we did? We went and we did the underground quest line. I forget the name of the city, the sunken forgotten city or whatever, but we fought the Lich Dragon and we destroyed it with magic, remember? We just absolutely melted the Lich Dragon with magic. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe you can do that in this game. But that was like 2 months ago, right? So we can go back to that if you guys so desire. I'd be down for that, try to finish up the game. We still have the final, third of the game, plus we have the underground sewer dungeon, the first version of Moog, and all of that stuff, okay? So we'll see what you guys want as the next thing once Diablo concludes, but that all could possibly start Tuesday night. Then on Wednesday, I'm going to do one final stream of Street Fighter 6 for the week, and this one will likely be whoever I didn't use on Monday. So let's say I did 3 hours of Lily
There's
on
no
Monday,
rush,
then
no
I'll probably do 3
demand, and no
hours of
reason
Marisa
for
on
Elden
Wednesday,
Ring.
or
Yeah.
vice versa.
He should
Some
just
good
wait
variety
until
this
it
week.
gets
So no new
closer to
characters
the
this week.
time
That's
where
fine.
the
I don't always have to
DLC
use
is
a
going
new
to
character in the
happen.
game. And in fact, by going back to the characters that I've already previously played, it's going to allow me to level up and do better rather than me focusing solely on new characters and choking. Also, here's something very important. We're going to talk about this in a moment, but I learned how to use parry yesterday. And this is now going to apply to all of my characters. So anyone I'm using...
He learned how to use Parry Caramello? Oh, is he paying him in fish fillets? Is he going to send him boats?
I'm going to be trying to parry, and it should be really well implemented, I feel. So we'll see. Okay, And then Wednesday night, the likely conclusion of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, because it really depends on how Monday night went, but it's likely going to end on Wednesday night. So there's very strong potential that both Diablo 4 and Zelda will conclude this week, which then will free up a lot of streaming time for us for the rest of the month to determine what we want to do on these other streams. And I'm open to suggestions. So I want to hear what you guys want. Let me know what you think. Right now, it seems like there seemed to be a consensus in chat that they wanted to see me start Amnesia the Bunker. So we'll see. Okay, that's the schedule for the week. Keep in mind, later this month, we got a special event going on. Right now, it's tentatively set for Sunday, July 30th. It is called The Dark Side of Machinima. It's a special react.
Bill, you already did, and you did your DSP's DSP, the DSP dick sucking party in July. Like, you're doing literally multiple events in July. Like, this is a part. And again, I'm just going to say this. This is not going to look well on you, Phil, because people are going to pull up after you do this event. They're going to clip together all the times before you got fired that you defended Machinima. And this is going to prove that, yeah, you defended Machinima while they were doing some really, really bad shit. But you stayed until the bitter end because you were getting paid.
Event exclusively on DSP Reacts, my sister channel. It'll be a day-long event with multiple levels. Part 1, I'm going to be
I'm not going to react that.
Covering Machinima. It's about a 50-minute documentary. He's the one person on YouTube who's actually covered this thing in depth. Most people did not. They just glanced over or whatever. It's like, dude, this is one of the biggest partnership networks on YouTube, and it completely failed and went out of business. How did that happen? Well, he covers the story. So I'm going to be reacting to that. But in addition, I was one of the longest running partners of Machinima. Over 6 years, I was with this company.
I'm the one.
And boy, there were ups and downs. And this company, the best way I can describe them is kind of like, almost like bipolar, where at one moment they'd be in this one mindset where they want to do this and they're gung-ho for it, and then all of a sudden you go to talk to them again, oh no, we canceled that, now we're doing this over here, we're doing it, wait, what? But we were so gung-ho to do this, and now you laid off the people even involved in it, and you're doing something different. Yeah, don't talk to us, we're busy with this thing over here. Then all of a sudden, 6 months later, they would contact you, oh yeah, special initiative, let's do this and this and this, wait, but you said you wanted nothing to do with me, you're busy with this over here. Well, now let's do this. Like, huh? They were the most disjointed, disorganized company. I'm not surprised.
And Phil, you stayed with them for almost 7 years, 6 years. He was also the one partner less fucked over by them. Yeah, like I heard that a lot of people got fucked over by Machinima. He didn't get as fucked over, but he defended them for a long time. He defended them, and that's gonna be the problem. Is like people are gonna splice all the times he defended them during the times, and now it's gonna be like, yeah, this is him retconning history. It really is. It's just him retconning history.
They went out of business, but I have a lot of history with them, and I saved all of my interactions with them over the years. I have tons of emails I'm going to sift through to try to find the most interesting stories and interactions I ever had with them, including some of the times when, for example, during the time when we were going through the false copyright takedown saga and how everyone was hitting me with false bullshit, and so Machinima took it upon themselves to try to counterclaim or claim people's videos on YouTube under the...
Phil, I bet you he's gonna fuck up, and he's gonna say something that shows that implies that he asked them to take, because they took down a lot of people's stuff. Like the original This Is How You Don't Play had to be re-uploaded because it was taken down. Like, yeah, this is not going to go well for you. It's going to show that, yeah, a lot of people didn't like them, and you kind of were okay with them fucking other people over because you were fine. Again.
Umbrella and try to take their ad revenue, which I didn't agree with, but they did it anyway.
You didn't.
We went through that were absolutely ludicrous.
They didn't take their ad revenue. You know, This Is How You Don't Play. They literally blocked them. They got those things yeeted off the internet, Phil. That's the whole point. They got it yeeted off the internet.
Ludicrously stupid. All right, like there's just a lot to talk about. And so we're gonna cover that. All right, I have merch. I have things to show you from my years with Machinima.
I don't care about your goddamn merch.
Still has the shit, you know, because I saved all my old shit. So it's gonna be a fun event, something different and something fun and interesting for the React channel, and that's gonna be the very end of the month. That's coming. All right, the month of August is going to be a celebration of my 15 years as a content creator. It's gonna be my big anniversary month, where we're gonna be doing all kinds of stuff. There's gonna be a retrospective marathon.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna nominate your favorite moments of my 15
Yeah,
years.
you gotta take this man's word for it, which is always the thing. Yeah, he will never put the emails on screen. So it's just what he claims he is. And the problem is Phil will never yet understand that nobody wants to take his word for it. He is not trustworthy.
Where I rank all of the games that I previously
shows
said
the
were like
thong.
or runner up and see how they hold up
No.
in 2023. I'm going to be doing some throwback playthrough
I don't want
projects where likely I'm going to be
I
playing
don't see a
some
Machinima thong. What the fuck? Come on.
Face cam interaction with you. We may even finally come to a determination of what to do with the old playthroughs I have archived on the hard drives, including Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare and the Suicide Kings stuff that I did, plus LA Noire and a few other retro things that have been lost to time. Perhaps we will upload them somewhere. All right? So there's a lot going on to celebrate my anniversary in the month of August. All right? I will say one thing. If anyone has a recommendation of a merchandise company that I can work with that is a actual intelligent, mature merchandise company that doesn't bend over because of dumbass woke culture and is so stupid that if my trolls message them to say things like Phil said this 10, 15 years ago, that they will say, oh, we don't want to work with that person, okay? You know, a company with a brain, but it's rare to find one these days. It really is. If someone knows of a merchandise company who'd like...
Wow, Phil. Like, half of the... Like, the whole thing with Teespring, it might not have even been the woke thing. It might have been the fact that you don't sell much merch. You don't sell your merch, and guess what? Nobody buys it. They close out your store. You know... I mean, come on now, dude. Like, yeah, you have evidence we did anything. Like, Phil, here's the thing. No, people didn't go. I don't think people really went to Blip and complained. Because the whole thing with Blip was they saw it and were like, we don't want anything goddamn to do with you at this point. Like, he never will understand. Yeah, unlike you, not yet. That's the thing. He didn't get sales for years. Because, one, he didn't have a whole lot of merch. Like, this is one of the problems. He doesn't make his own merch. He doesn't make his own art to make the merch. He relies on his fans to make that stuff. Like, he wants merch, but it's like he's not gonna make the designs. He's not gonna pay someone for the designs.
Work with me, or I can work with to design merch and release a 15th anniversary line of clothing. I would love to do that.
A 15th anniversary line of clothing. Do you hear this motherfucker? He's like, well, it's 15 years. You're gonna buy t-shirts for Darkside Phil for 15 years, aren't you? Aren't you? A line of clothing. Phil, you're not a fucking celebrity. You're not buying a line. It's literally a place where they're just going to slap a cheap decal on a shirt and sell it for $20. Just when did Phil have a problem with woke culture? Phil has a problem with woke culture, but would you rather buy one from me? I'm not doing no goddamn merch. Like, this is a simple VTuber thing. Like, I'm not doing no goddamn merch. I can't draw. I can't draw, like, at all. Like, yeah, like, here's the thing. All of this is going to be his fans doing it, and they're going to suck.
Point. Why put a bunch of time and effort into making a merchandise line if then my haters are just going to mass contact that company and be like, oh, so look what he said 10, 15 years ago in his videos, you know, cancel him. And then they kick me out.
Phil, it doesn't even have to be 10, 15 years ago. It could be a year ago with that whole... you know, the slave trade thing. That's not 10, 15 years ago. That's a year ago. Yeah, but it's the guy. And the thing about it is, if I remember, like, the merch is like, yeah, oh yeah, that's the thing. He's paranoid. He's paranoid because the fact is that his words are starting to bite him in the ass, and he's losing. Like, he lost stream elements because of not stuff he said years ago, because of then him going after the guy who it said that and then went fucking and talked about this person needing to go and have the white coats take him away. And that's what got him his ass banned. Because people were then like, no, this guy's gaslighting people. What the fuck?
The company and say, we don't want to work with me, right? It's insanely stupid. Especially because I never actually said anything offensively racist or anything like that. You know, back then it was all just jokes. No one took...
Offensively racist? Phil, we want to talk about the Dead Space 2 demo? That wasn't a joke. I'm going to say that's a bit offensively racist, especially the fact that you then tried to say, well, Howard Stern's able to do it. Yeah, I'll give you 3 seconds to figure out what the difference between you and Howard Stern is. And yeah, he called, yeah. Oh, wait, the Sid, tell me you know about Dead Space 2 demo. Yeah, calling a dude mentally ill. Not only that, yeah, he said didn't just call him mentally ill. He said he should have the white coats take him away. Like, Phil, wow, that is rough.
Took offense at the generalized way I used to do because woke culture
Hi,
has
Yamamoto.
changed
How are you
modern
doing?
society. Now everyone thinks that things 10, 15 years ago were like the worst things ever on planet Earth and that you're the devil if you participated in them.
Phil, you have never once apologized. Like, dunking VAR in... Yeah. Yeah. It really is
it's so weird how he's mad about this, because the fact is that he's got a lot of stuff that he's been unapologetic for, and he's doesn't understand. It's like, Phil, you've been unapologetically, and here's the thing, you don't even have to go with racist slur. The hateful slurs are him shitting on his fans, shitting on everyone else. Yeah. It rants about the Japanese. Yeah. He rants about the Japanese that does border on just racism. Like, it's not even like me just like, oh, the Japanese, oh, they got their kaiju sick. They got their kaiju practice. Or they love the hentai. It's shit that you're just like, like, seriously, you go to a, like, seriously, like, he was shitting on and being morally prude about a fucking hostess bar. It's not a fucking whorehouse. A hostess bar, you literally, it's just, you go to a place, you have some food and all that, and you got a pretty girl on your arm for the night. You tip them well, and that's it. That's the whole thing is. And guess what? You're like, hey, that was nice. And then you go on with the rest of your life. I wouldn't go to a hostess bar all the time, but, you know, for like a birthday or something, yeah. Yeah, you know, nothing wrong with that.
So, if there's a company out there that's different, that actually will not bend the knee to a bunch of idiots on the internet, I'd like to work with them. Because I feel like we would make some money together. People are asking me for merch.
Bend the knee.
Things that, yes, are making fun of me, which I'm
bend the knee. What are they, a feudal, are they a feudal lord?
But I need to have a company that'll work with me. And I don't know if there any even exist, honestly. I just have no clue.
Honestly, why would anybody want to work with Phil?
I'd definitely like to hear from you on this one, because I don't know. And like I said, it's a lot of time and effort to make merch and work with a website to set it up. I'm not going to do it just to have it shut down. So let me know if you know anything about that. Okay, guys? Okay. So, let's continue. All right. Let's talk about Street Fighter 6 briefly. Yesterday,
yeah, acting like he got fucking canceled. He didn't get canceled.
I exclusively played with Blanca. And ladies and gentlemen, I had the most successful day I've ever had in Street Fighter 6 yesterday. I had the most wins in one day. All right? I hit my 1,000th win, which is a huge milestone for me. I told you guys I'd be excited to see when I hit it, and we hit it.
I'm skipping forward on this one.
And then maybe the 2,000th win.
I do not give two fucks about this.
I would say at least the 2,000th win would be the next one.
Yeah, we'll get scammed like Kegelian. Wait, Kegelian got scammed?
Right. But in addition to that, unprecedented, I leveled up my Blanca 2
I
levels.
can't remember.
Not one, 2 freaking levels. That's an accomplishment, because Diamond is rough.
Oh my God, who the hell
playing
cares?
this game since launch has only been using 1 to 2 characters exclusively, has been hardcore playing those characters, and are doing their absolute best to win by any means necessary. I mean, holy shit, I saw some ridiculous abusable stuff yesterday. By far, the thing that took the cake for me, that I can't believe is...
Wait, 1,000 wins and 1,200 losses? So he's not even... Oh, wait, Kegelian got scammed in a hostess bar in Japan? I want to hear that story. But wait, so he's under 500? Oh, he's making an event out of someone he worked with in the past, fucking him over when they really didn't. Why would anyone? Yeah, like, all you have to do is any other company would look at this and say, why would I want to work with this person? Like, oh, no, you made it up. CM Tarbell, don't make that stuff up. I thought that might have been true. I was gonna be like, oh, he's that bad now. But yeah, he's closer to around like 51 or something like that percent. I'd actually have to look at the actual win losses. It's not that. It's pretty close to 500. After Phil, Horsefucker is also threatening to leave over Phil turboing through games recently. Wait, Horsefucker? Oh, Horsefucker Keith? I can't remember who everyone is, who his dents are.
Well, the Ken and I have this much health, okay? Ken does an unsafe move. I do a perfect parry, which freezes the game, and is supposed to give you advantage to get a counter hit and win the match. I go to do my move, the Ken mashes Overdrive Dragon Punch, and his Overdrive Dragon Punch canceled out the screen freeze and hit me before my move came out.
Well, here's the thing, the Sid, he's threatening to leave, but guess what? I don't care, because he's come back before. So, who cares?
What was Capcom thinking?
I have no I don't respect him.
You might as well not even bother.
And if he fucks horses, I don't respect him either.
I mean, how the fuck they missed this? I have no idea. Because this is back in the day in Street Fighter 4, this used to be an issue online, where because you were playing online, people could just mash EX Dragon Punch, and it would beat pretty much everything in the game. Since then, Capcom made it not as abusable. Now all of a sudden it's abusable again. What the hell are they doing? I couldn't believe it. I literally did everything correct. I parried perfectly to counter his unsafe move.
I did everything correct. I did nothing wrong.
For my perfect timing. No, they can just mash this move out anyway and counteract whatever you're doing. And I was like, so that's, there's things when you're starting to play this level, you're gonna realize about the game that are pretty broken. Ken by far is the most broken character in this game. He just is. Everything he does is safe. for the most part. There's one or two things he does that are unsafe, but almost every move he does is recoverable or recovers before you can do anything about it. He has so many moves he can throw out there that are not punishable, right? If you think you can punish it because you perfect parry, he hits you anyway.
50% win rate. It's like saying I'm a good cook and half the time I make chicken. It gives you salmonella. Yeah. The ice Discord share by.
Is so effective. If it hits, dude, he gets insane combo every time.
Oh yeah, no, I remember hearing the Randy Man on the Tumbleweed forums, but I just don't believe that he's gone forever because he's come back before.
They're not outperforming. They're not reacting. They're literally playing a pattern, and the pattern is broken, and they need to fix the character. I do feel that's completely unfair, right? It's stupid. People should not be just getting easy wins because they selected a character on a select screen. So, outside of that, those other things I noticed.
Wah. Phil, you're not good at the game.
Okay, my first
If you're
session,
50%, you're not
48
good at
wins,
the game.
27 losses for a 64% win-loss ratio, and I leveled from Diamond 1 star to Diamond 2 star. Okay.
Okay, Phil, when you take it over everything, you are a mediocre player. Like, just pick a main and play it and improve on that and become a master of that. Like, he really does this whole jack of all trades when it comes to Street Fighter. It's like, I don't get
During that
why
time
he's
frame,
doing
I did hit
that.
my 1000th win, which was absolutely amazing. Okay, absolutely
No,
amazing.
I don't find
Then,
that amazing.
on my second session, which was the night session, 33 wins and 23 losses. Admittedly, some of the losses were rough because it does seem like there's certain matchups for Blanca that are going to be way more difficult. For example, JP seems to be a character that is all based on getting in on him and staying close to him. But even then, if he mashes, again, it's mashing a light attack, which is stupid because it's the same thing we can. If he mashes light attack and he just happens to hit you with a counter hit jab, it leads to a giant wall bounce combo that pushes you back and just basically the round is over. And I don't like that about the character. He's a one-trick pony character. There's no variation to playing JP. It's keep you away, and then when they get close, hit you with a counter hit jab, push you to the wall, and watch, rinse, repeat. There's nothing to him. I don't like that. And I basically got washed by certain characters. JP was one of them. Ken was one that was consistently kicking my ass, and another one, Jury. Because Jury has the ability to keep pushing you back with her projectiles like on the ground. She has that projectile wave. So that already makes her safe. You can't really do anything about it. And then she can just rush right behind it and keep the pressure on. And she can keep you locked. Her mid-range kicks and stuff are very high priority. And hey, if they hit, that's it. Giant dash cancel combo. So I think that mid-screen style of rushdown character is very overpowered right now in the game. But I don't know if people will find an answer to it or not. I started implementing parrying for the first time yesterday, and parrying was great. Like me parrying these rushdown characters was keeping them off of me. They weren't able to stay in my face constantly. And because of the parries, a lot of the times I was able to escape my corner traps and stuff like that. And on top of that, I was starting to trap them well in the corner. Okay. I was doing really well in regards to that. So, good stuff. And I hope that people enjoyed the session. The late stream was tougher with 33 wins and 23 losses, so I had a 59% win-loss ratio. So, overall yesterday, grand total, ready for this? 81 wins, all right, and 50 losses. I won way more than I lost yesterday with Blanca. By the time the night was done, I was 3-star diamond with my Blanca, and he is still leveling up, meaning like I was well getting foothold into the next tier to get to 4-star diamond, okay? So things are going good with Blanca, and the more that I play with him, the better I'm getting. Now I'm going to give him a break, meaning I'm not picking him for the rest of the week. Maybe I'll do a session with him next week, but for now I want to give him a rest because we did play with him for 5 hours, and I'm pleased with the results. By the end of the night, here's the overall results. 1,062 total wins, 802 losses for a 57% win-loss ratio in Street Fighter 6. So by far, Blanca's my best character right now, but that could change. Overall, playing more with characters like Marisa or whatever, I might do better. We'll have to see how things go long term. Yeah, but right now, Blanca was doing really well. So people were actually asking me, well, do you think you'll ever get your Blanca to master rank? Well, here's the deal. Could I get my Blanca to master rank?
He's trying to point out
Could I get my Blanca to master rank?
1,000 wins with a winning
When I say
percentage of
possible,
500 isn't something to
what I mean
brag about, but
it's
the
probable,
execution
but
failed.
The problem with
Wasn't
it
trying
is
to
that it
make
would take a lot of
yeah.
time investment. If you didn't see, it took me 5
You're
hours
right.
to get my Blanca from 1-star diamond to 3-star diamond. Arguably, to get him from 3-star diamond to 5-star diamond would take 5 to 7 hours, right? To get him to master, especially when people are playing at the highest level there, probably would take another. So you're talking, another 10, 15 plus hours of gameplay just with Blanca to try to get him to master level. And by the way, I'm sure the higher rank we get, the more I'm going to lose, which is just going to hinder me more. You see what I'm saying? So my problem here is time. It's not desire, and it's not skill. It's time investment. Because if I just play with Blanca, people will get bored. People liked yesterday because it was a day of Blanca, but now knowing that later on this week I'll be playing with different characters, people are excited. If I say, oh, by the way, Monday is
People
Blanca,
are excited.
Wednesday, Blanca.
Who's
people are like,
excited?
oh, dude, more Blanca? Yeah, come on, that's too much. And
Who's
I hear you.
excited?
People
Who's
know
thinking,
this
oh my
is
god,
right
he's
here.
gonna play
They don't
more
think it's a top level
Blanca, I'm
pro
just
player
gonna put the
hardcore
gun in
versus
my
a character
mouth.
at the top level. Do I think I could get Blanca to master level eventually? Yes, if I committed enough time.
No one brags
I don't
about
know
this, but
if my
literally,
concentration style
yeah.
can get us there. Being transparent here, I just don't know if it's possible. There's another thing you have to realize too. For all the time that I've decided to play different characters, everyone else is playing more as well and getting better with their try-hard characters. What does that mean? It means, for example, the longer I wait to play, the more people will be playing who have only played with their character exclusively and they're getting better. So, for example, today, playing a character at 2-star platinum, I'll face a certain level of person. But if I wait a month, I'll be facing a better level of person at 2-star platinum. I will. People who've been playing with those characters for longer and got better at the game. So it gets tougher the further in you wait. I mean, how in the holy hell was I diamond ranked with E Honda on launch day? Do you really think if I played E Honda?
And yet the fact is that he talks about other people being tryhards. Like, Phil, like, what the fuck is this bullshit? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Phil. Like, my
Today,
eyes are
at diamond
glazing
level in a
over.
single match? Probably not. And that's
Don't
the point I mean.
care,
The
don't
longer you
care,
wait, the
don't
harder it gets.
care.
The sweats get more intense, as they say. So if I keep playing with Blanca,
He really, Phil, the thing is, you expect to be at a good level because you are, but the fact is, you're beating up scrubs, and yeah, the fact is they will get better, and the fact is people play you, they'll figure out how to beat your ass, because you are an open book.
Yeah, he's projecting into others as yeah, it's a projection. Who even really keeps track of it, to be honest? There are people who care about rank. It's like, here's the thing. Like, you're like, okay, I'm diamond level. Okay, I'm going to try to work to the next level. We'll just go that. Like, you brag about taking a game off of Nikita or Daigo, not fucking internet randoms. Yeah.
Blanca constantly, I could probably hit master within a week or two. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a variety of characters. By the time I go back to Blanca, it very well may be that 3-star diamond that he's at is way harder now, and I haven't played with him, so I'm rusty, and I just lose. This is the nature of
How are
competitive fighting
you?
games.
Oh
okay?
my
You know,
God,
right now,
Phil.
Lily and Marisa, I very well might.
Phil, maybe you need to practice more than just a few hours a week. Maybe actually try. But no. Effort is too much for him.
Get body constantly because I haven't played with them in 2 weeks or more, and you know what I mean? And I might just suck. You know, what I have to do is watch videos and try to absorb tech and stuff with these characters before I play with
He has
them.
to watch
Try to fully
videos
game,
so
you know
he
what I
can
mean?
learn
We'll have to see,
the
but
powerful
yeah, I would love to get, I would like to
combos.
at least get one character to master level. That would make me feel pretty good about myself, honestly, because it's been so
I
long since I
think you
played
feel
competitive
good
fighting.
about
It's the first time
yourself.
I've
Phil,
actually
if you
taken
need to
it
feel
semi-seriously
good
over a
about
decade,
yourself,
and I'm actually doing
might
well.
I
No one can deny that I'm actually
recommend
doing well. I'm actually getting good wins,
sit-ups?
great gameplay, crazy close matchups, you know. I'm
Maybe
learning,
a
I'm implementing,
salad?
I'm actually studying. First time I studied fighting games in so long, man, you know, and I'm having a great time with it, by the way.
Maybe
I am. So,
walking? Or
hopefully,
swimming
I
at
would
a
get someone to master,
gym?
but it's a big question mark, because I am not going to just keep constantly playing the same character over and over, so it's a matter of time, okay?
Play
Yeah.
offline
So
like
thank you to everyone
normal
who watched.
people.
Please watch the videos from yesterday. It's the
But
best gameplay I've ever done in
appearing
the game.
offline
Yes,
does
it's a
not
multiplayer
help
game,
it.
but it's absolutely the best Blanca I've done. Not necessarily top level. I do still drop combos and get very frustrated at it when I do. But my goodness, there was some great stuff in there. Cool quarter mix up with Blanca-chan that people didn't know how to defend against that lead to ginormous damage combos. In general, I had a great time. People really enjoyed it who were there live. I don't know about the on-demand viewers. I haven't really checked. I do saw some comments on there. People are liking it. But if you're watching the videos on demand, please remember, like the videos and leave comments. It's critical for engagement. I had a big dip in engagement in June. Why? Because half the footage I put out was Street Fighter 6. For some reason, people are not tending to like or leave comments on the Street Fighter videos. I don't know why. You could simply just put, hey, I'm just leaving this for the algorithm to help you out, brother. That's a comment. It's a valid comment. You know, you're
I believe that should be a TOS violation. That should be a TOS violation. You just leave this for the algorithm. What the fuck, Phil? Jesus fucking... Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. He forgets to mention he used casual to buff up his record. Yeah, it's very pathetic. It's like, it wasn't all ranked matches. If you played all ranked matches, you know, that would have been like, okay, but yeah, he put up casual, which means... Yeah... But yeah, think about it. He wants engagement, and it's like, well, engagement's down. It's like, Phil, people are bored. Hey, he's comment baiting again, not a dying channel. Also, look at it. Like, it's like, Phil, your channel's dying. And I'm sorry, just saying, helping the algorithm, like, that shit's pathetic. Like, who's going to look at that and say, yeah, this is a healthy, robust channel and not, no, this is a pathetic channel.
click on the video, you see one part of a match that you enjoyed, like the video. This will help this channel tremendously. It sucks because, you know, I actually saw a giant dip in engagement in June, when otherwise everything in June was actually going good, except engagement. So please, if you could, please engage with the Street Fighter videos as you watch them, and that would help a lot. Thank you. Okay? All right.
Wow.
That's all I got. Let's do shout-outs. We start off today with several shout-outs on the YouTube side of things. We've got Habib Gaming, who became a member this morning, and that actually counted, I believe, as a new membership, which gets us up to 536 members. It'd be great if we could get some more members today. Yesterday we had great momentum, as we had some people gifting tons of memberships to the channel. It was certainly great if we could get some more momentum on that, okay? So thank you to Habib Gaming. Jade, re-up his membership for 25 months.
Give me money, give me money, give me money, give me money, give me money.
Let's see here. Gavin, re-up his membership for 11 months. Can you please say the word acknowledgement? Acknowledgement. What, you want me to say ack? Is that what you wanted to say? Even though when I laugh, I sound like that. When I laugh, I go You think that sounds like ack? It doesn't. It sounds like ack. Like fucking Mars Attacks. So there you go. You got your stupid audio clip. Ack. Amazing. So thank you, Habib Gaming. Says, how's Street Fighter 6 so far?
Phil, some of your laughing, you go, Yeah, it sounds like ack, because you have a seal laugh. You have a goat laugh. Like, Phil, like, think about it. This means Phil's really self-conscious about how he laughs. Imagine getting his trash in the algorithm and you see thumbnails of VIscant and you think this is a new creator, and you find out, oh, 15-year legacy. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, the thumbnails are trash. The view count's trash. And you see in the comments, I'm trying to help the algorithm. You're just like, what the fuck? No one's gonna...
Great.
I was gonna clown on him.
Really, even though I'm not... listen, I'm good at Street Fighter. I would say I'm decent at Street Fighter 6. That's as far as I will go. I won't say I'm good. I'll say I'm decent at Street Fighter 6, and I'm increasingly getting better.
Returnal.
But I'm enjoying it. It's the most enjoyable fighting game I've played in a decade. Really. It's that good. They really put the time and effort into this game. The presentation is outstanding, right? The graphics, the animations, the sound effects, all the tech in the game, having so many new things, right? Drive impact, drive reversal, dash cancel, drive rush, parry, perfect parry. There's so many new elements they added into this game that make it so complex and good.
When you talk about Street Fighter, my eyes glaze over.
Yeah, I've had a great time.
And I'm just like,
absolutely.
I'm
to
thinking,
me, I think it's the best fighting game in a long time, and I'm happy to play it.
right now, sleep.
Okay. Juan Ortega has re-upped his membership as well. 12 days, my independence of Columbia, so 12 days to your Independence Day. Well, I hope you're preparing. Hope you have the holiday. Returnal is the first super chat of the morning. Says congrats on your 1,000 wins. Thank you to Returnal.
That's not Returnal. That's Returnal.
First super chat of the day. If you haven't noticed, I don't know why on earth I didn't do this to begin with. I abbreviated on our leaderboard down here. Now it says last SC instead of last super chat. I mean, that cuts out a bunch of characters. That gives us more space. I have no clue why I had to say last super chat previously. Like, you don't know what SC stands for. That's pretty stupid. So I fixed it.
Are you a functional retard? I have to ask.
He just figured that out.
On the tip side of things, we start off today with a $4.20 tip from Lady Charisma. Thank you for the first tip of the day, Lady Charisma. Let's get this up on the leaderboard and see what Lady Charisma has to say.
If I were to new to Phil and saw those numbers, I wouldn't automatically assume he's botting his numbers.
But the thing is, you'd also see like he's been around for a while, and you can see like, oh wow, he
I was like,
started
wait a
with a
minute,
lot. Oh,
I'm
leaning
grabbing the wrong
manual
thing. I was
zoom.
like, that's not the leaderboard. I'm moving the whole screen. Did you see that? I was moving the whole bar back and forth. That's not right. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. I'm grabbing the wrong thing. I was like, that's not the leaderboard. I'm moving the whole screen. Did you see that? I was moving the whole bar back and forth. That's not right. Okay.
Wow, Phil, maybe you should have locked your bar, or not had the bar and actually have an overlay. That might help.
So Lady Charisma says the following. I decided to go Final Fantasy 16. I can feel where Final Fantasy 14 inspirations came from. I now have no issues with it. I love Final Fantasy 14. I have 500 hours into it, but I know it's not for anyone. Well, not for anyone. You mean it's not for everyone. I'm sure some people like it. Also, I found one of the lead combat designers for Devil May Cry 5 worked on Final Fantasy 16. It shows. I'm loving the game so far, but I can see how it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not really
Just shit on someone who mistyped
again,
and put a typo.
And
Okay.
2/3 of every stream, I am bored. And my audience is in agreement.
Save
Not
it.
just me.
Is
We're all
someone
saying,
else
we're
take
like,
over and
what's
turn
going
to a
on in
new
this game? Shut the
channel?
fuck up. They're gabbing about bullshit. It's not important. If there's something important to the plot, I don't mind long cutscenes. In fact, I would say the whole intro was long cutscenes. They were slow paced, but at least they were something interesting about the lore of the game. I was digging.
Who assume typing on
And
the phone
to the point,
sucks?
like,
Yeah.
this stops, I play the game, and it won't. I mean,
He
you remember
shits
back
on
when we
anybody
were
if
driving
they
through the touchpads,
if
you
they
remember cutscenes, it would
spell
actually do
something
additional
wrong or
lore. We realized we
anything.
stopped doing that in the
He's
second
really
stream,
a shitty.
Cutscenes were so abundant. No one wanted to interact with anything. Like, fuck this. Like, seriously, we don't want that. We just want gameplay. And where is it?
We don't want it.
So,
Who's
you might be right,
we?
there may be a
Re.
situation where this game, all right, is catered
But
more.
yeah,
You're gonna sit there
Okami,
for
that's
yourself,
not,
you wanna
at
hurt
this
yourself with
point,
needs,
no
you
one
know,
can
before,
take it
you
over
can
and
hurt
make it a
yourself
new
with
channel.
things around you.
The
But
brand
you
is
know,
so
you
toxic, you might as well
really
nuke
immerse
it
yourself in
from
this world,
orbit.
You know, I mean, for example, a lot of people do that with Harry Potter. No, they absolutely do. They love the Wizarding World so much. They inundate themselves with so much minutia about the school, about the townspeople, Hogsmeade and shit, and they want to know about every little thing about Harry Hassenpfeffer's magical popcorn popping business and how, you know, he imports Griffin's fucking feathers from the hills, the highlands of the Netherlands, and he puts them into brewing his fucking popcorn. And when you eat the popcorn, you know, it makes your nipples tingle and you do backflips in midair or something. You know, but that's nothing to do with Harry Potter. It's just it's supplemental information. But a lot of people go crazy about that, right? So maybe that's what they're going for with this game. They're trying to give you so much information and lore about the world, but I don't care about the girl. Seriously, I keep saying it. I don't care about the girl who went missing. Get on with it. Guess what? That's something for someone else to deal with. I'm the protagonist
Yeah,
of the game.
Sid,
I don't need to
he'll
look for the missing girl
constantly
who lost her phone.
mispronounce
All right?
words
It's like, I got
and
the
use
authority,
them
so, you know,
incorrectly,
people
but
talking
he
about, you know,
shits on other
I have shit to do.
people.
I have giant kaiju monsters that I need to fight and fuck up the world with. I have, you know, things going on that are bigger picture than this person sitting on a bench and wants me to bring them a bowl of fucking oatmeal. I don't have time for your shit. I have
Oh
things to
my
do.
God,
It's
who
not
the
fun for me to waste
hell
my time on minutia. In
cares?
2023, game devs should know this, but apparently they don't. They're still following the same tropes from 1990s RPGs. How in 30 years they don't think the world has improved? I don't get it, but apparently they don't think so.
The world has
Okay,
improved.
so,
Has the
very
world
simply
really
put,
improved,
I hope the game
Phil?
is better.
Since the 90s? I'd argue the opposite. I'd actually argue the opposite. The world has gotten worse since the 90s. Phil, I'm just going to say that. Yeah, Harry Potter's designed for world expansion. This man just does not want world expansion. He does not care about world building. I mean, that's why he wants to play shit like, that's why he's loving shit like Street Fighter, because there's no world. Imagine you have a character that gives a shit about others instead of himself. Yeah, he can't understand that. Like, invention-wise, yes. Humanity-wise, yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, oh, inventions? We've had some great inventions, but yeah, humanity, we have gone so far backwards. It ain't funny. It's like, yeah, we have not improved. Like, I'm sorry, I don't see the world as being a better place than it was 30 years ago. And it's going in the wrong direction, in my opinion.
If it doesn't, it is what it is. We'll see how it goes today and Tuesday. But I'm glad you're enjoying the game, Lady Charisma. Thank you for the first tip of the day. And no, you're absolutely right about the Devil May Cry thing. You are. I mean, you can tell it's inspired by Devil May Cry in a massive way. I just hope it doesn't get so grindy and repetitive that it's not fun anymore. Because right now, to be honest, I'm 15 hours in, and a lot of the combat is starting to feel very samey. So I hope that's not the case. Okay, more shoutouts on the YouTube side. We have Apollo 360.
Yeah, we've regressed hard.
Better. They've been on and off. So some days I actually wake up and my eyes are completely inflamed. Completely like water encrusted, disgusting. I got drip down my throat constantly. It's bothering me crazy.
Why are you telling people this? No one can. Oh my God, no one wants to know about your disgusting fucking allergies.
It's cloudy. Nothing's in crazy amounts of fluid. Right? It was super sunny outside. Really pollen in here. So yeah, it's on and off. I got discounted allergy meds. Remember I told you about a month ago we went to Bed Bath & Beyond and they're doing their big clear out sale because they're going out of business. I think they only have like 1 week left and they're completely out of business. So we went there. We got like really big, deep discount allergy meds. I got what was it called, Zysol, and I also got Flonase. So I got both for whatever I need for the rest of the season. Hopefully it's enough. So I guess we'll see. Okay. All right, my nose itches. Balzac became a channel member this morning. Thank you to Balzac for the membership that gets us to 537 and climbing. I appreciate that. Welcome to the streams. I hope you have a good time. Arkham just did a super chat and said, I just watched the new Indiana Jones movie yesterday night. I give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, seems like sadly the consensus is it's another dud of a movie. It's nowhere near as good as the original trilogy. They probably should.
I'm sorry, a 7 out of 10 is a dud? What the fuck? This motherfucker, what is he thinking? This isn't 7 out of 10. It's not the fucking video game scale. If it's 7 out of 10, that is acceptable. That's like on the good part. Like 7 out of 10 is fine. That's a good movie. Like, what the fuck? He thinks 7 out of 10 is a dud? What the fuck is wrong with this man?
They shouldn't have made it. Because, number one, Harrison Ford is so old, there's absolutely no way he can pull off action. How is he going to when he's that old? You shouldn't expect him to, right?
I mean, but Tom Cruise is 60 years old, and he'll hang off the edge of a goddamn plane. You want to share that? I'm just say I'm having issues breathing in the morning. Damn allergy. Yeah, that's the thing. You just say, yeah, just say early when I start in the morning, the allergies are pretty bad, and I gotta really take one as soon as I wake up, or else it's just not gonna work. Yeah, like the fact that the dude said it was a 7 out of 10, which is a fine rating for a movie, and he's like, oh, it's a dud. They never should have made it. It's like, Phil, do you not understand? Like, I've seen fucking like action people who have gone to the 80s. They can still do, yeah. Ford can still do action, and he likes the character of Indiana Jones. He likes it. He wants to play that shit. All right. He probably would play it till the day he died. You don't want to play you don't want to play Han Solo. He wants to play fucking Indiana Jones. Yeah, like 7 out of 10. That 7 out of 10 is a movie I would like to see. 5 out of 10 would be mediocre. He really does.
It's ludicrous that they think that's realistic. I've heard the best part of the movie, there's flashback segments where they digitally de-age him, and they say that that's the best parts of the movie, although it looks a little weird. It's still fun to see, like, young Indiana Jones, from, like, the original trilogy. But now, then he goes back to the present, or whatever the present day is in the movie, and it's just not that good, right? So.
Well, Phil, you haven't seen the movie. You're what other people say, and, maybe you should go see the movie for yourself, Phil.
Whatever. I hated Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I really did. I thought it was a terrible movie, and I'm likely not even going to bother seeing Dial of Destiny. Anyway. All right. I'm going to bother seeing Dial of Destiny.
Well, then why are we talking about this? It's the first 10 minutes.
Anyway. All right. Continuing on. I received $1 tip.
It's only there in the first 10 minutes. Wow.
From a troll. So I ignore the troll.
Of course.
It's amazing how people, they still tip to think that I'm going to, like, read what they say. I never do. They're just that stupid.
And yet, here's the thing. And yet you talk about it. And guess what? They get something out of it, and they get their $1 back. But they're still stupid because they tipped $1 to him. I am going to watch it. Like, I hear the theater's empty, and nothing beats an empty theater for like $30. Dude, yeah, nothing beats an empty theater for $30. Yeah, go get a lady. You could basically fuck in the theater at that point. Yeah, the rest is, so it digital DH for only 10 minutes. The rest is current forward. Actually, and I saw the digital DHing. It looked fine. But you did read it and decide it was a troll dent. Yeah. You see, he didn't do it what Wingo does, which Wingo will just read whatever tip you have as long as it doesn't have something like really, offensive. He'll read it and then you can't charge it back then. Yeah, the money really went. Although, Okami, and we've talked about this before, $300 million is a bit too much for this movie. Like, that was... Somebody was not being realistic on that. And I don't know if you heard, Kathleen Kennedy is blaming Bob Iger now. This is going to be an interesting thing.
They're just that dumb. All right.
They're that dumb.
We'll
You're dumb.
A few questions. What I mean by that is we'll do a very shortened version of Q&A. Normally I would go all the way till 12:30, but like I said, I do want to start with Final Fantasy 16 earlier because we will be interrupted at some point this afternoon. I just don't know when. So since that's the case, if you could bear with me, and let's do a little bit of Q&A here before we jump into Final Fantasy, okay? So Libsyn says, don't drop Final Fantasy. Even if you skip all side content, it still won't take long if you just do the story. The story and amazing fights are worth playing. I did buy it. I did spend my $70. It does kind of make sense to at least see what the story's about, right? Casanova says he compares my trolls to Sloth.
Bob Iger's probably pocketing it. Well, probably, but here's the thing. Kathleen Kennedy's making some bad decisions.
I don't know what the second half
Those low self-esteem, so him reading it still fucks with him.
Says, what techniques do I use to keep myself awake when playing Final Fantasy 16? Well, I do have to frequently pinch myself to remind myself I'm awake. This is not a dream, and the game actually is this boring. So I have to like go, oh, okay, now I'm still here. And then sometimes you gotta apply. It's called the facial slap. When you have big, chubby jowls like I do, it's kind of hard to keep yourself awake. Even with regular slap, you don't really feel it. So you have to do techniques. What I do is you go, okay, then you go, okay, then you go, and
Execute clown mode.
And slap. And then, if you get to a really boring part, like if they want you to bring the bowl of oatmeal to someone, now you gotta go for the ultimate double slapper. You gotta go, oh!
Phil, we've seen you when you play Yakuza games, when you play Like a Dragon games, we've literally seen you fall asleep during a cutscene. You will see the eyes roll back. We'll see you literally you literally fucking go to sleep. That was some fucking clown mode shit. Like, Phil, we've seen you fall asleep during these cutscenes. It's hilarious. He just wrote, Phil, I'd rather not hear you talk shit about Final Fantasy, so you could not create anything 100th that's good. Yeah, he talks about shit like he knows how to actually do this game. And you see, he's laughing. And the thing I love about it is he's laughing at himself. because he entertained himself. Haha, I did a funny, and it's like no one else likes it. Can we just put them in an arena and toss 2 swords? I mean, yeah, Okami, I'm down to the clown for that. Yeah, Iger and Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, one of them comes out, and then it's like, yeah, no, you're not leaving either.
Okay. My odd experience is that you use caffeine. I have 1 cup of coffee in the morning with my breakfast, and then sometimes, well, usually, I have a cup of coffee later on in the day before my second stream. So I have 2 cups of...
See, the thing is, you shouldn't need a cup of coffee at 7:00 p.m. Like, the thing about this is, I think he needs a cup of coffee because he doesn't sleep well, and the problem is that he uses the coffee as a way to kind of keep himself awake, because he drinks himself to sleep at like 3 a.m.
coffee a day usually, and that's enough to get me
Armed guard is waiting outside for the survivor. I was gonna say a firing squad, but okay.
Pat the Trickster says, I really like Final Fantasy 16.
In Minecraft.
Honestly, I suspect I might have even loved the game more if I stuck with the main story. So Pat the Trickster played the whole game and feels like basically the side content's a waste. And
Well, 10 a.m. is when he wakes up.
He... Jade, oh, okay. So Jade says he'll be here talking to chat, but he doesn't know if he'll pay attention too much to the game today. I think that's what he's saying. Okay. D-Man says for horse...
DSP Gaming, talk to chat. Oh my god. Jade. See, Jade's the one he actually will translate for, but nobody else.
Recommendation, play Slender Man: The Arrival. Has good jump scares. Isn't that an old-ass game? Isn't that the game that was supposed to be like the follow-up to the original Slender Man game, right? I think it is, right? Old, I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misinformed.
Old
Maybe the
game.
first time. Final Fantasy 16 even has a new game plus. People would want to play it a second time, huh? Wow.
Yeah, the thing is that he'll
Wow.
drink himself to sleep till like 3 a.m, pass out, and then once he wakes up.
Long cutscenes like Final Fantasy 16. Well, fair enough. That's a good comparison. What I would say is you're right. There are significantly amount of side missions in Yakuza games that aren't as good, but also Yakuza games have really good side missions. Like some of the side content of Yakuza games is on par with the main freaking story. Really, it is. Take a look at Lost Judgment. Same company, same style of game. There's an entire segment of the game that's like 25 hours long. School stories. That's essentially a second game they added in for free. You didn't pay for it. It was in the main game, and it is crazy good, and it's just as good as the writing of the main storyline. Take a look at some of the funny storylines in Yakuza games over the years. The ghost, right? Someone pretending to be a ghost to scare people away, so to keep the rent prices low where they're living and stuff like that. Those are funny and interesting stories. Do they add to the main story of the game? Not really, but at least
Pretending to be a ghost to keep the rent prices low? Is this a Yakuza game or a fucking Scooby-Doo episode? Like, I'm expecting that... No, it's not Lost Judgment that came here. It's the fucking Mystery Machine. What the fuck? Rent? Pretend to be a ghost to keep the rent prices low? Oh, I mean, Falcon, that's a different spooky ghost.
at least they're entertaining. I'm sorry, the majority of the side missions here that I've done are not entertaining. They are time wasters. They're literally in there to say we have side content. Then don't have the side content. If you can't find meaning in the side content to either entertain or give valuable experience or give items you need to help you in the main campaign, then don't have the side content. Just cut it out.
Blah 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 blah.
Enough bloat in the world. We're all overweight as it is. We don't need more. We have big sagging, flapping skin, fat pouches on our bodies. We don't need big sagging side content, flapping pouches in our games. You understand? That's a really disgusting comparison. Oh my god.
Minecraft yourself, Phil. Sooner rather than later.
In fact, I just played Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster back in May. And I play retro games from time to time. I actually feel like I want to play retro games for August.
Like, he really loves the childish exaggerations and this stupid shit, and he thinks he's funny.
Super Mario Bros. 3 or something like that. I want to do like a retro playthrough for August too. I think that would be neat.
Super Mario... I would... Ooh, Super Mario Bros. 3. Let's see.
I think that would be modern manner. But I also like to probably go back and do some throwback games. I don't know if you guys have ideas. Super Mario Bros. 3 or something like that. I want to do like a retro play.
Super Mario Brothers 3. I actually would be interested to see him play Super Mario Brothers 3, and here's why. I'd like to see how bad he could play that game. Because his reflexes are so bad that he is gonna fuck that up.
Playthrough for August too. I think that would be neat. Excuse me. Sorry about
that. Oh, he would play it in one game, and he would just get the 2 warp whistles, go right to yeah, savestate.exe is entered the chat, but or he would get the 2 warp whistles, go right to World 8, and it would be like this unsatisfying playthrough. Either way, I think people tell him to shut up more than Meg has ever been told the entirety of Family Guy. That's true. Silence, Megan.
that.
Shut up, Meg.
Should they make an Indiana Jones game? They could. They could make a modern one, I'm sure. I mean, the thing is, like, Indiana Jones probably would very much fit in with the formula of Tomb Raider games, right? And there's been so many, they could do it. I don't know if it would be popular. Like, this latest movie...
Tomb Raider games? Phil? I believe those are called Uncharted games now. I remember learning the warp whistles. I saw the Wizard's Kid, different era. Yeah. I mean, the fact is that there's one in level... World 1, level 3. There's one in the castle. So getting both of them, he could go, because if you play the warp whistle in the warp zone, you go right to World 8. Again. Immediate then rewind once people spoiled it.
Flopping. Did you know this latest movie is not doing well at the box office compared to what they expected? They thought it would be a summer blockbuster, and it's more of a summer meh. It's not a huge flop or anything, but people are just not going in droves to see this movie, likely because they don't think that Harrison Ford at 80 years old is Indiana Jones anymore. So
no, I think it's more. I mean, probably also it's also the fact that it costs $300 million to make. So the fact is, you're talking about it needs to cover at least 600 to 700 million just before it makes money. Phil, like, understand how movies work before you talk. That would help.
You know, it is what it is. But I don't know if the game would sell well because they don't even care about the IP that much anymore, right? All right, guys, last chance. If you want to tag me in the chat and ask a question, then we're going to get ready to start the games. Like I said, I know we're getting interrupted this afternoon, so I want to start sooner rather than later. Is the chat working or did it crash again? Oh, no, I think the chat crashed again. This is the second time. It did.
Wah, 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 wah. The chat crashed again. Wah, 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 wah.
Okay, everyone, I know you're still there because they're not clicking those symbols again. Remember I told you there's the chat, like emote buttons, like the happy face, the surprise face, the 100, and the party horn. People are clicking it and it's going crazy on the side of the chat. So I know you're there. I know you guys didn't go anywhere, but the chat froze again. Second time, what's going on with the chat today?
Yeah, GG, I want to see it, but I know it's going to be a crash and burn just because it's the thing of don't make movies this expensive.
That's a good sign. All right, so once again, just to remind everyone as we're journeying here, we're about to start with Final Fantasy 16. There will be an interruption. Oh, now the chat just unfroze, by the way. It took 4 minutes to unfreeze. So there will be an
Floppy
interruption.
did over budget, and G, I don't know, maybe because people can't really afford to go movies all the time, especially not this. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, Okami, yeah.
Right now, I'll make you aware of what's going on.
It,
that way we can,
and did you hear JG Winnell? She's bashing Iger. Like, this is going to be a fight.
People back for the stream, so I'll leave it running if the interruption is early. If the interruption is later, all right, then I will basically let you know what's going on with that. In fact, you know what? I might have just gotten a phone call. in regards to this. Which is absolutely hilarious because I had my phone on ring and it didn't ring. So that really worked. All right, let's end the podcast, everyone. Maybe I'll have an update for you momentarily, all right? Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the show, and I hope that you will continue to enjoy the content here on DSP Gaming. Thank you so very much, and see you tomorrow. All right, guys, if you don't mind, if you give me a second, I'm going to see what the phone call was. I think it does pertain to the break, and maybe they'll actually give me an update. All right, I'll be right back.
And then, here's the thing. He's still talking.
Nothing super exciting. It's very mundane. It's not, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, it sucks because this is something that obviously I would not even like to have you guys involved. You need to know. It has nothing to do with my streams or anything, but it doesn't make sense. I learned from experience. Don't talk. Obviously, that would be ideal. No? Get it out of the way. And if it's perfect timing, I ended the podcast.
Okay, good. Podcast done. Time done. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Disney needs to cut the crap and send dump truck attached and have total creative control of the film. They're not going to do that. And honestly, JG Winnell, that's not going to save them. They don't have a dump truck of cash. This is the problem. They honestly think spend more money to get out of it. Arger's the biggest backer of tax write-off tactics they've been pulling now. Yeah. Like, Eldritch live, Ice Yamamoto Hummelog is still live. Yeah. I'm gonna, like, because if this podcast is done, I'm going to return to bed and just, have fun there. I want to thank y'all for coming out. It was for a while, but kind of fun on that. We'll take a look more at this Aqua Teal thing later, and I'll bring Okami on. We can talk about that one day. But yeah, it bedtime. I don't want to leave YouTube. No. It bed. I go bed. Yes, I go bed. It time bed.
Pimp, we get a big ups to Darcy DeFlo and add his song to the playlist. No. What is up, everyone? Hello, and welcome. Only mic was on. It's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know. Hello. Turn it up. Turn up my neck phones. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. What's up, Jamie? Yo. Good to see you here today. Are you ready for this? Yo. You know what time it is. Yes, Jay. Big time. Go. Shout out to Almighty Frogga from Guadalajara, Aquatic. I'm cruising in my blue Corolla. I need that money to be a high roller. Trapped and made a controller. She's crying downstairs, so I have to console her. Swimsuit model with eating disorder. Spent $200 on her DoorDash order. Yo, just a fucking crook with a fucking crooked jaw. False flagging down channels with my puppy dog. I committed fraud. And I got low teeth. I'm a low teeth god. False flagging, mundane bagging. Phil's fat. Phil's a faggot. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Arnold, Phil's a nigger.
Right? How do you say? Brunel's a nigger, right? Very nice. All right. Let us continue.
It's 3 a.m.
And I can't sleep. I got 2 big bills coming next week. One more chance to save the best streak. I'm going full mask off. It's not that deep.
It's 3 a.m.
And I can't sleep. I got 2 big bills coming next week. One more chance left to blow. You ready? 8 time go. 8 time flow. Whoa. They thought I fell off. No. Like a prime D rose, I be dunking on these hoes. Turn you into T-part, striking a T-pose. So let me tell you now what the story is. They call me ESP.
Notorious.
I'm cruising and wrenching, fast and furious, with my homie Pastor Eric Miller.
He's quite curious.
They don't have nearly what it takes to be a man. And since I took their manhood, that's mine now, so I ain't giving it back.
My trolls are always watching me, waiting for another disaster stream. They won't even give me a piece of peace or like a whole fucking team locking onto my stream like a detractor beam. I can't get rid of them. I'm sober. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing supporters. Detractors are bending me over. Just another con in this Ludwig world order. And now I'm seeing so much clearer as I sit here staring into Dark Dave's mirror and all of my fears and all that I see. The raw DSP. Bottom leader, cult leader.
It's 3 a.m.
And I still can't sleep. I guess this is all I will ever be. This is just how time flows. Until it time go. It's gonna take years of effort to try to dig myself out of this fucking hole. It really is. And it sucks. I hope that someday I'll get out of it. I don't know if I ever will. I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life. Like, it's been tough. You know, my life has been tough over the last decade.
Yeah.
You know, my life has been tough.